lifestyle. Sports cards and we live now. Jeremy Lee in the building and every guest that you ever needed. Sports cards after hours keep the hobby heated. Updates, hobby talk like you never seen it. Sports cards live and none could ever beat it. Sports cards is a lifestyle. Sports cards and we live now. Welcome to another episode of Sports Cards Live with your host, Jeremy Lee.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Fanatics Collect Premier Auction Extended Bidding Watch Party. It is November the 21st, 2024. My name is Jeremy Lee, and I am glad to be back with our co-host. Let's bring him out, Mr. Adam Gray. Adam, here we go again. How are you today?
I'm great, man. We're going to see $1 million plus Babe Ruth sell tonight. I'm hyped. How are you?
I'm good too. And yes, we are going to see a big card. It might be our first seven-figure card in, a couple years doing the show here?
First one in a while. I know for sure it's the biggest one in Fanatics Collect's history because up until now it was the Wemby Black that was back in like April-ish, and this is going to sell for multiples of that. So yeah, definitely the first one in a while.
Very exciting. It's a Babe Ruth 1933 Gouty. It's the red background card 149. It's a great card, Adam, but there's lots of amazing cards in the auction going off tonight, guys. Extended bidding for the Fanatics Premier Auction does start in about 28 minutes. It's going to be a lot of fun. And as many of you do know, once there is no more bids on any lot, the whole auction ends. These items do not end lot by lot. They end all together. If you are tuning in on Instagram, either you're on my account or Adam's account, please feel free to come on over to YouTube. That's where we can actually interact and check out your comments and have some dialogue going with you there. It's much more convenient over on YouTube than on Instagram. And if you are watching on LinkedIn, Facebook, or Twitter as well as YouTube, welcome everybody to the show. We're going to, this thing is going to ramp up though, Adam, because there are so many great items. We've got about 100 or so, 125 maybe it is, items in the Premier. And we should just get into it or what? What do you, and we've got some this or that's. Last month, we had 8, 9, or 10 of them, and we were going to stop after 5, but we ended up running through them all. Those were a lot of fun. I created them again this time. I sent them to Adam. I said, Adam, what do you think? Are they good enough? He goes, perfect. So quickly, you liked what I made? You liked the this or that's, the comparisons I came up with?
I love the ones that you did. I want to say last time we brought them out at the very end, and the numbers of people who were watching, even as the show was ending, were like the highest of the night. And we looked at each other and like, should we still do this? And pretty much everybody hung on to do this or that. It was really fun to do that with the chat. The chat is always the highlight of what we're doing. So, I just want to make sure we get them done this time. I love it. Let's do it.
All right. Well, we do have them. We've got, I think we have 8 of them this month. So we will get to them. Hello to Vintage Card Collector. All hail the great Bambino. And the top 2 cards, 2 of the 3 cards in the first row on the first page are both Babe Ruths. The other one is a Black Lotus from Magic the Gathering with an autograph. We're going to talk about that one as well tonight. Studio Sports, what's going on? Mike Nunya, Sundine564, welcome to the show. Gross Bros, 2 sports card legends together on the screen. I think you're talking about those 2 Babe Ruths right there. And those are the ones that I was just referring to, Adam. I am a little under the weather. Just a quick warning to everybody. You might hear me cough here and there, but I'm going to try to keep that as quiet as I can. But look, Adam, come on, look right across the top here. Our first 7-figure card since the platform has become Fanatics Collect, and this is a biggie. And Adam, you did a really good reel on this card, and you did the thing about the reel that you did on this card was that you actually covered all 4 of the Babe Ruths from the 33 Gouty set, including card number 53 right here, the yellow background. As you can all see right in front of you, it's the same image on both cards, just with a different color background. And generally speaking, I think the yellow one is kind of the most popular of the 4, although Card 144, the full stance, the full batting stance is gaining popularity and has kind of become my new favorite, overtaking the yellow. But I love this yellow background right here, the SGC 8. This is an amazing card itself. But look at the PSA 8.5 red background, 149, pop 3, none graded higher. It's an 8.5. It's at $1 million. Adam, you did the reel. You put in some research. What would you like to let the audience know about these two cards as we get started here tonight?
Well, even before I talk about the things that are like some of the facts about the card that are really cool, I would just say and I'm not just saying this just because it's the 8.5. I've always said I think personally the one that stands out to me most is the red background, and it's just because I think the red is more appealing than the yellow is, and I like the nice look of a younger Ruth, and they're all wonderful cards. But we could talk about this card for the whole auction, which nobody wants us to do. But the quick talking points of the 4, one of them actually has a PSA 10. It's not the red, it's not the yellow, it's one of the other 2, and it's considered one of the best baseball cards in existence. It would be really cool to see it come to auction. Nobody really knows what it's worth. And then of the 4, 3 of the 4 actually have a PSA 9. The one that does not have a PSA 9 is the one that you're looking at. And so the highest grade that it has is an 8.5. But then the really surprising thing is you'd say, well, if there are 4 5 9s and there's 1 10, there's got to be a bunch of 8 5s, right? No, there's actually only 4 8 5s across all 4 cards in the world. And so you're looking at what a lot of people believe, and what the Iconic 100 showed was the most iconic Babe Ruth being all of the 33 gouties put together on the same spot in the list that we did. And you're looking at the best or tied for the best of this specific card that exists. So if you love iconic cards, if you love Babe Ruth, if you love vintage baseball, if you love this era of, gum cards, like it really doesn't get much better than this one. And so we're lucky that we get to cover this one tonight. And like you, Jeremy, I just have no idea where it'll end, but I'm really excited about it.
Well, it's already at 1.2 million out the door US dollars, while card number 53 in the SGC 8 holder right over here with the yellow background is at $130,000, which is 156 out the door USD again. And this has the PWCC eye appeal of the top 30% for those that have been in an SGC 8 that have crossed the desks of PWC in its former iteration. Now, this is a great looking card. This PSA 8.5 33 gouty Babe Ruth. I'm just looking at it. It's an 8.5. It's got beautiful edges, beautiful corners. I think it's just an absolutely stunning card overall. Slight registration issue, some little print spots up here, but nothing to me that would make me think that this is overgraded at all. Not one bit. I think that this is just look at the centering on this too. These cards are tough to find well centered, and this one is extremely well centered, and it's the feature of the auction. This is the card of the night, everybody, right here. We're kicking off with it, and I'm sure we're going to come back to it a few times to see where it is at. But let's go to the card number 53. Now, Adam just said he thinks that this is his favorite. I actually prefer the looks of the yellow one. I like this card better for whatever reason. I just always have, and this is an SGC 8, super high grade as well. Beautiful centering, beautiful edges and corners. The registration, I would say, is even a little bit clearer than this one over here. Just a great card. I love this card. Boy, oh boy, whoever buys this is going to own just an amazing piece of cardboard history, baseball history, Americana. It has both these cards have everything going for it. I just feel, Adam, like I'm talking to more people about the yellow because it's about 10 times more affordable than the card number 149 here. So I don't know how many people are in the running on this card at 1.2 million, but I have a feeling there's maybe more people than can afford the yellow card right here. What do you think?
Well, the other thing that I would bring out is that over the course of the last 3 months or so, you have talked about how your favorite card that you've picked up, and really like the favorite card that you've had, for the last favorite pickup that you've had over the last, I don't know how long, has been your Ruth Gouty, which I know is neither one of these. It's the other one. You've brought it with you. For those people who are maybe joining us for the first time, Jeremy, you should talk a little bit about why you love it as much as you do.
Well, I'll just put the spotlight on myself for a second so you guys can see it. This is the card 144. It's from the same set as the two we're looking at. As you can see, it's a very nice, clean card. It's graded at PSA 1, so super low grade, but it's just got some technical issues. The back is super clean as well, but it has a couple wrinkles coming through it right here. They're really tough to see, but that's kind of besides the point. I think the thing about these cards is that, as Adam said, there were 4 different Babe Ruth cards in the set. The one I'm holding, the 2 in front of you on the screen, and then there's another one. It's sort of a portrait shot of Babe Ruth. It's got the green background, and to me, it's sort of the most unattractive image of him, but it's growing on me, Adam. That green one is growing on me too. But the 2 that we're looking at, the red and the yellow, to me, those are both of them, because it's the same image. Those are, to me, so iconic. I feel that they are more iconic than this one here, which is my favorite. But these 2 I feel are more iconic. And I just listen, they're from 1933. They're over 90 years old now. They are, Babe Ruth had 4 cards in the set. Lou Gehrig had 2. And both of Lou Gehrig's cards were the same image of him. Mm-hmm. So even the same colors for the most part. I think they're a different shade of blue, whereas the Babe Ruth, he's literally got 4 different cards, even though the 2 in front of us right now are the same image. They did make the colors different. So I'm just trying to say that, to me, this is the pinnacle of maybe his popularity. It's the pinnacle of what I think are the important Babe Ruth cards. These aren't rookie cards. It's important to note these are not rookie cards. His rookie cards come from 1916 and are just a little bit different. Well, they're a lot different. They're black and white for the most part, and they are amazing cards in and of themselves. But these 33 Gouties are from a much more widely collected set. They're more attainable, and they are they're unbelievable, Adam. Yeah.
When you look at the other cards that he had during his career, he actually has quite a few, right? It's kind of interesting. Go to the PSA website and just type in Babe Ruth 19 and just go through the years. But the majority that he had were strip cards, right? Cards that were not like cards. They're like ripped off of things or cut from things. And some of them are colored. Some of them are sort of artist illustrations, but they're not, the premier sets that you think about from Babe Ruth's career. You think of the Gouty. You really do. There's the Sport Kings set, which was like a multi-sport set and it's a beautiful card. We've talked about that one a lot. But outside of those 2, you think about the ones that aesthetically have the colors and have everything that you want. There actually is there aren't other ones, right? Those are the main 2 that you think of. Are there any others that you think of, Jeremy, off the top of your head? Those are the only 2 that I sort of think of.
He's got a 48 Leaf that,
but that's post-career though. That's post-career.
Post-career, but it's still pre-war. It's still vintage pre-war, like it really is. So, but yeah, no, these are the ones I think of. I really think of the Sport Kings and the 4 from the 33 Gouty. Those are the ones. And for me personally, the 1916 rookies, it doesn't matter what grade you find them in, you're probably $250,000 just to get into a low grade one. So they're, I don't have a shot at those. I like these 33 Gouties. I personally own the one I just showed you. I also have a copy of number 53, the yellow background here. And maybe one day I'll strive to get the red and the green as well.
If he was 6 or 7 years younger, he could have been in the T206 set, which is a fun thing to think about. But these are the ones that you have to look at. And unlike today, where a player will get thousands of playing days cards, Ruths are smaller in number. But like I said, he has some, and some of them are really rare. But these are the ones that people know of, and really there's only a few that people know of that ever transact. So it'll be exciting to see what happens tonight. I have no idea what to expect. Do you have any idea what to expect on either one of these?
I do not. I'm the million on the red 1.2 with a buyer's premium. I mean, listen, I hope for the sake of the consignor and for the sake of Fanatics Collect that this thing doubles in price, but I don't know that it will. I mean, we saw the Dr. Newman's copy of the number 53 sold for like 4.2 million. Was that a PSA 9 copy?
That was a 9, and I had a friend today reach out to me and told me he sold a 9, and I'm not going to tell you how much for, but it was for a lot of, it was way more than 4.2. I'll say that.
Wow.
So,
well,
and that's for half a grade higher.
It's half a grade higher, but there's other things at play here, like the PSA set registry. Whoever's going for the Babe Ruth Master set or the 1933 Gouty set.
That's right.
This Pop 3 card number 149, only 3 people can have this in this high grade. And that might be worth another $1 million by the end of the night, Adam. It just might be worth 2 million more. I don't know what to expect, but I'm excited to see. And I like Jeff Derrico's comment. He says, if Ruth would have been in the Cracker Jack sets, oh my goodness, imagine Ruth having a 1914 and or 1915 Cracker Jack. And Vintage calls out the US Caramel Ruth is another one that comes to mind, the 32. Yeah, that's a cool card as well. Really nice looking card. So there's a couple others, but not a lot of options for Babe Ruth collectors as far as, pre-war goes, really. So
very cool. Well, the third card that we have up here, we don't usually hit non-sports, but this is one that I particularly wanted to mention real quick because the last couple times we've had a copy of this card sell, it's actually sold for in the many hundreds of thousands of dollars. I was looking at the data earlier. There was one that was like a CGC 8.5 that sold for, I think it was 650 grand, Jeremy. So this one's at 55. It's really low. It's got the artist's signature, Christopher Rush, but this is not even those of us who are sports fans, we all know the Black Lotus. We all know that there's the Alpha, Beta, and Unlimited. This card is actually not any of those. This is an artist proof card that was given out to artists who worked on the Magic the Gathering set, and then it's signed by him. So there was estimated to be like 50 of these total. I haven't looked at the pop report, but I believe it's the highest one that's graded. And again, it has his autograph on it. So there was certainly a belief that this would sell for several $100,000 given where the last 2 sold for, but this one's sitting at 55 right now. So as the night goes on, this will be one to watch to see if it does what kind of people were thinking it would do, because right now it is sitting incredibly low.
Yeah, sitting at 55K. That does seem low. Pop 2, none graded higher. And, you've probably heard me say, Adam, I'm not a fan of autograph grading. This gets an 8 on the autograph. And so I was zooming in to see why. And honestly, I mean, it's kind of obvious that it's streaky in the capital R for Rush and even in the C down here for Christopher. But, I mean, the guy signed the card. The autograph hasn't faded. There's nothing wrong with that autograph, i.e. nothing has changed since he laid down the ink. So, to me, it's a great copy. And if I was into Magic, which I'm not, but if I was, I think this would be something I'd be keenly interested in. And yeah, 55 does seem low compared to the comps you just mentioned.
I heard a rumor that Post Malone bought one for 800 grand. I cannot substantiate that. I don't know that. But yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see stuff like this. That's not... It's considered a grail, but it's also like it's a, this was like an artist proof. It's harder to sometimes estimate, but even still, it's so much below what the other ones have sold for. I'd be a little bit surprised to see it not move up. But again, this isn't my world. That's just me sort of talking amongst other collectors and what they've heard. I don't know this as well as the stuff that we normally talk about by any means at all.
Fair enough. Here's the next 3 cards in the auction. Before we get to them, I want to quickly say hello to Lantern Cards. What's going on? Jeremy M. Good evening. Jason Newman. Jeff Derrico is here. Amit is here. What's up, Amit? Vintage says, I prefer the yellow background of the Babe Ruth because more vintage cards have red, making yellow more unique. I think that's a cool take right there. Vintage, yeah, we talked about that. Triple V says the 30 US Caramel is his dream card. What's up? Deep Value Investor, that's Brent Wire. What's up, Brent? And Dog Food Soup in the house yet again. Good to see you, Chris. All right, let's go to the next 3 here. Adam, we have a Pokemon Trainer Trophy Pikachu PSA 10 Pop 1, $220,000 right now. We have a Wembanyama Black Shimmer Prism Deca 101 and a Mickey Mantle 52 tops PSA 5. Adam, I'm going to cough for a second, so tell us about the Wembanyama.
Yeah, Jeremy's, as you mentioned at the beginning, has a little bit of a cough. The Wemby, we covered an auction, Jeremy and I did, I believe it was in April of this year, where we asked the question, what would you rather have? The black shimmer, we're talking about regular prism, which is an image of Wemby at the rookie photo shoot with the like drape behind him. And we said, what would you rather have? The black shimmer of that, which is a 1 of 1, or the true gold, which is out of 10. And so I would ask everybody in the chat still to sort of ask that same question. What would you rather have? Well, in the regular prism, there's 3 1 of 1s. In Deca, which looks like 2012, which I think is maybe the most beloved sort of design of the prism era. It's certainly the first one, even if it's not the most beloved design. In Deca, there's only 2 1 of 1s. So in the regular prism, there's the black shimmer, and there's the nebula. In Deca, there's just the black and the black shimmer. There's only 2. This one right here, 55 grand. It was at 36 grand earlier today, so it's obviously jumped a little bit. But when that one was up back in April, I think we started the day back at like 80 grand or something. And by the end of the night, it ended at $516,000, and we were just like freaking out, like, this is incredible. Well, since then, more product has come out for sure. But this product in particular has come out, and I think the question that everybody's asking, most people think this is a better looking card, and everybody realizes there's fewer 1 of 1s and there's fewer parallels, but everyone also realizes it's not the initial prism. It's not the true prism that some people would say. So how's it going to do compared to that? It's the other black shimmer Wemby prism rookie. Does it do something similar to what the other one did on the night of? We have no idea. I have no idea. I have no idea whether people are going to be interested in it in that sort of way or not, but that's what we're sort of excited to see tonight.
So, Adam, the one that sold in April, was that the image of Wembanyama in front of the curtain?
Yes,
it was. So I really like this card better because it's an action shot. It's a game shot. I love the 2012 Prism design, which is what this is taken off of. I don't care that it's Deca and not regular Prism. Personally, this to me is a nicer card than the true Prism 101 that sold in April. Personally, and right now you're gonna get it for 1/10 of the price, and it's still a rookie card. So I think that's amazing. Let's look at this Mickey Mantle for a moment. PSA 5, 1952 tops, Mickey Mantle. I mean, these cards speak for themselves. This one is really great in terms of the color. The registration, the focus is basically perfect. The background is nice. Very little to no snow effect. The only things I see wrong with it are, of course, the centering, which is really typical for this card. It's a little bit high and to the right. And then other than that, like the corners have exactly what you'd expect. But this little edge issue right here is the only other thing that bothers me. And it doesn't necessarily bother me because these cards are so tough to find in great shape. This is an amazing copy for my eye, $90,000. That's got to go up from here. That's got to go up from here. I think this is probably going to double before the night is out, all in. Right now it's at 108,000 out the door. And I don't know how this thing would sell for. I'm not exactly sure where 5s have been selling for lately, Adam. But to me, I mean, I've seen 2s and 3s sell for close to 6 figures. So how is this 5 not going to attract more bids? I certainly think it will. All right, go ahead. Anything to add before we go to the next row?
The iconic card, the number 1. It's a beauty, and it's been a while since we've seen one that's been this high graded that I remember at least covering as far as the auction.
All right, a LeBron James 2003 Topps Chrome Black Refractor rookie card numbered out of 500 in a PSA 10. This is a beast of a card. We also have a triple auto SP signature. LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. That's probably the 3 best autos you can get on a basketball card. Numbered out of 25 in a PSA authentic holder. And to finish off the row, we have a nice Bart Starr SGC 957 Topps rookie card. Now, I mean, Adam, LeBron James has several rookie cards. But this black refractor, when you look at the parallels to this black refractor, you've got the gold out of 50, which is a beast of a card. But then you've got the regular Topps Chrome, and you've got the regular Topps Chrome refractor. This black one, to me, kind of sits in a really sweet spot within the hobby. And what I mean is that it's a card that, you know, it's going to sound silly because it's 110,000, which is a lot of money, but it's a card that is sort of within the reach of more people than, of course, the gold. That's for sure, because that's out of only 50. But it still puts you in that kind of status of being, it's unreachable by 95, maybe more percent of the hobby. And it's beautiful. And it's PSA 10. I don't know what the population is of this particular PSA 10. Do you happen to know the population, Adam?
I'm actually looking it up as we speak.
Yeah, let's see what you find on that. And I want to have a look at, you know, I want to have a look at corners and edges, which appear to be, it's hard to see on the dark background, but I'm seeing no white anywhere along the corners or edges here.
It's a pop 21 and 190 have been graded. So a little bit more than 10%, about 11, 12% are gems, which isn't shocking because of how poor the centering is on a lot of these. But yeah, 21, and I'm with you. It's not the gold. It's not the exquisite. It's like the very next level of great LeBron rookie cards.
And what I think about when we say pop 21, I'm going to make a comparison that is not apples to apples, but I want to make a comparison anyway to the Michael Jordan 86 Fleer. PSA 10, it's a pop 320 something. This is a pop 21. So there's like, what, 1/16 of the amount of these as there are those. And the Michael Jordan is selling for, you know, in the, what are those selling for lately, Adam? 250, 300?
I think they're
180,
yeah, somewhere in that 200, 250 range still.
Yeah, somewhere 180 to 250, let's say. So you can, and that's a pop 300. This LeBron, and I know it's not apples to apples, guys. Don't get me wrong, but this is it's a pop 21. I don't know. I think when
for
you
me, I think you're bringing a great question. I would rather have the black than an MJ10. I would. And I know it's not apples to apples, but I like how rare it is. I like that it's certainly one of the most iconic cards of the century. I think we talked about this. I did a project recently, the iconic 25 and 25, the 25 most iconic cards of the century to date. And it's coming out in BCF this month. I'm super excited for it. We had 20 different people put together their own lists and then averaged them and just sort of crowdsourced it. Obviously, this card will be pretty high on that list. And it should be, because it's definitely the LeBron James rookie that's not the exquisite rookie.
And as Deep Value points out over here, tough grade on the black borders. He says most of them are off center. Good evening to Robert Scott, by the way. Nate Fletcher says black refractor or X-fractor. That's a great question. I love X-fractors, but in this case, I think I prefer the black because you just have that much clearer of an image of LeBron James in his rookie year.
Nate's a big LeBron collector, and he knows more about these things than I do for sure. I like the look of the black better, and I know it's not as rare, and I love rare cards, but I like the look of the black more than I like the X-fractor personally.
Yeah, Nate says, give me the X-fractor over the black. Brent says, I think I like the black better. I'd want to see them beside each other again to make my final determination, because I do love X-fractor as well. Vintage is saying, give me the black as well. So
while we have this card up, and while we're talking to these other guys about LeBron, about rare LeBron rookies, I wonder, Jeremy, there's two other big LeBron PSA 10 rookies that are super low pop in this auction. One is a pop 8, and it's the finest refractor. The other you're over right now, which is the Credentials, which is a pop 5. I would love to hear from you, out of the three, which you would like and why, like what your personal order of the three would be.
What was the second one? Sorry, you mentioned the black. This one, what was the third one?
The finest.
Oh, the finest. And I think I've recently seen some content on that it is just extremely, extremely rare. The finest. Now for me, there it is right there, right?
Yep.
Yeah. This is a great card too. Pop 8. For me, it's this one right here. I love Credentials. I own a copy of this card, so I put my money where my mouth is. It's this one right here. I just love this card. Everything about it. I love that you've got the die cut foil cardboard on the blue, the light baby blue, sky blue acetate, die cut LeBron. I love this card, Adam. It's a card I've owned for a while now, and I plan to keep it for a while. I like it more than the Topps Chromes, and I do also like it more than the Finest. But I do like the Finest as well, but I like the black even better than I like the Finest. What I like about the Finest, well, first of all, there's only 250 of them, so that's pretty cool. But the thing I like not most, but one of the things I like about the Topps Finest is I love the logo. I love the Topps Finest logo. Something about it just makes me feel good and warm and fuzzy inside. I don't know what it is, but I do like this card as well. You know, you've got those weird, almost looks like streets going on behind him there. A couple of parallel 4-lane streets going on behind him. I'm not sure what that design is supposed to be, but it's a little bit sort of random to me, whereas this is much more natural as a card design. And then this is, of course, completely off the wall, creative, unique, and different. So I'm going to go with both ends of things. And I like this one first, black second, and Finest third.
I love it. Great answer. For whatever it's worth, I don't think I can answer it. I legitimately can't put any one above the other. And so if I feel like that, I wonder if
what about this being only 102 copies?
Well, it is the rarest for sure. And it's the most artistic, which I love. And I love Fleer. I guess the only knock is that it's the practice jersey. It's the preseason or whatever summer league practice jersey. But the fact that it's the lowest pop and it's the rarest is definitely like it's in the, I won't be surprised if it sells for the most of the three. It also hasn't sold in a long time. I don't know what's been longer though, that or the Finest. The Finest hasn't sold in 4 years in that grade. So all three of those, I mean, we've seen the Chrome Black is the most iconic, but the Chrome Black also has moved the most recently. So I don't know which one will sell for the most, which one will sell for the least, and I have no idea. So at the end of the night, we should take a look at that because I wouldn't even hazard a guess. I really have no idea.
Jackie's and Jordan's on Instagram says, love the credentials, LeBron, as do I, Jackie's and Jordan's. Okay, Adam, we need to pick up the pace here a little bit if we're going to get through some more cards. Yeah. We've got the triple auto. Now, this card, the image does not do it any justice, but these, you can't even really see the autos. Maybe we should go into the item itself and take a look at the video here and see if we're going to get, see, how do we play the video here? Play.
It's such a difficult card to image. I even looked at the image on PSA. It's no better. The image on PSA was not great either. Oh, that one's not. Oh, is that the same image? One? Is that the same one?
My understanding is that these autos are minty.
They are. So I'm not supposed to say this because it's another auction house, but Golden sold the card like a year ago or close to a year ago, and they were able to get a little bit of a better. They were able to get a better image on that specific one, and it's just how it turns out sometimes, right? Sometimes you get a great image, sometimes you don't. But the autographs are exactly like you want to look. There's 107 total of these three and nobody else that have signed the card. This one, honestly, so last time it sold for, I think it was 84,000. And there was part of me that thought, it's moving again really quick. Maybe there's a chance it'll go cheap. And if it would have gone cheap, Jeremy, this would have been like, I might have gone after this because I really do want one triple auto of these three. I really do. I want one of them. And this was going to be the chance I thought maybe that one might go cheap, but it hasn't gone cheap. But it might honestly have a ways to go too, just because you don't see the three on a card sell very often. You really don't.
Bart Starr, beautiful SGC 957 Topps rookie card. And this is really an exceptional copy. Look at that centering, the color, the corners and the edges. Beautiful copy right there. Next row, we have a McCole Hardman signed and inscribed game used Super Bowl Kansas City Chiefs jersey. Looks to have several autographs on it, I believe. Maybe.
Yeah, so I actually did some research on this one. Let me hit it real quick. There's 9 inscriptions on this. This is the guy who caught the pass. The guy who caught the pass in overtime from Mahomes to win the game, basically his time expired. And so he probably
that's Nicole Hardman. That's not the manufacturer of the jersey. That's the player's name.
That's the player's name. Yeah. So this is the jersey he was wearing last Super Bowl as time expires. Huge piece. The question that I ask is there a jersey you'd rather have besides Mahomes more than this one? Because it was called the Tom and Jerry play for those of you who watched the game and remembered it. And he signed everything. He signed his name twice. He's got like all of the inscriptions on it. So that's if you're a Chiefs fan, it's a crazy piece.
We talked about the credentials. LeBron, we have the PMG Ken Griffey Jr. from 1998. It's numbered out of 50. It's a BGS 8, and it is a spectacular card. I love this card, Adam. Nice thing about this is the subgrades. Now, its final grade is an 8, but you have nothing under an 8, no 7 or 7.5. You got surface 8, corners 8, but edges are coming in at 8.5 and centering at 9.5. So in a true 8, if you have 4 extra half grades on top of a true 8 here. 3 to get to the 9.5 and 1 to get to the 8.5 on edges. So that in itself is just awesome. And pop 1 of 1, 5 graded higher by BGS. Again, only 50 copies. And this is among Griffey's best cards that exist. Some might consider it to be his best card out there, unless there's like a essential credentials that's numbered really low, which there may be. But this is a huge Griffey card, and $36,000 tells you so right there. And then, Adam, we have a Playmakers Theater Kobe Bryant BGS 8. It's from 1998 Fleer Tradition. I love these cards. I own a Shaquille O'Neal copy of this card, and I just absolutely love it. These cards are awesome because they have a great shine to them. They have some light embossing, and they're beautiful under the light. The image makes it hard to see what I'm talking about, but just trust me when I tell you these cards are amazing. Now, similar to the last card, the Griffey, this BGS 8, while we do have edges at 7.5, you have 2 9.5s for centering and surface, and corners coming in at an 8 in line with a final grade. So a wonderful card here, Adam. What would you like to say about it? Because I know you love Kobe, and I know you love Playmakers Theater.
Yeah, I've got the Jordan. It's one of my favorite cards. The embossing, you called it light. It's like one of the most significant amounts of embossing on a card that I've ever seen. And I love the like hue. The thing that I love,
I retract that statement.
No, you're good. You're good. The main thing that I love about it, though, is that it came out of a $1.50, $1.25 to $1.50 pack. I love cards that any kid in the world could have pulled out of a whatever pack. It was just one in a zillion packs. So, but the Griffey, I love it. It's pop 1, 5 higher. There's only 6 copies that Beckett has ever graded, by the way. So it's the lowest graded, and some people might say, well, that's not good. No, listen, what Jeremy said, it's true. It's like the Griffey 90s parallel. The only one that would be better would be the essential credentials now, which I can't remember what that one's out of, but this would be like the number 2, because Jeremy, you remember there's no red and green in baseball. There's none. Yeah. So this is like the Griffey parallel.
And corners have an 8. As I look at the front of the card, the top 2 corners, they look to be 9s at least to me, maybe even 9.5s. It's just maybe the bottom right corner has a touch of white showing, but that's not bad at all.
Not bad.
Bottom left, even less. Like, I haven't seen the back of the card. If they're consistent with the front, maybe maybe that corner grade is a little bit undergraded.
I would argue, like you would, that if you're a Griffey guy, that's basically top of the pyramid stuff. The only other card would be like his first jersey autograph. Outside of those, that's the Griffey card.
Yeah, fair enough. Want to quickly say to Pino Chiappetta. What's going on, Pino? Good to see you, buddy. All right, we have a Messi 2004 Mega Cracks rookie BGS 9.5. This card speaks for itself. It's a true gem. All 4 9.5 grades. If you've been waiting for one of these, now is your chance. We've got a 97 finest embossed gold refractor Michael Jordan, numbered out of 75 and a BGS 9. Let's take a quick look at the subgrades on this. We have a 10 centering, 9.5 edges, 9 surface corners at 8.5. The card only has 2 corners. Let's take a look at them. They look good to me, Adam. They look good to me. The edges, the corners, all look good to me. I know you love this card. What's unique about it in terms of the amount of serially numbered Jordan cards from the 90s?
Yeah, I will tell you first, one of my best friends picked this up 2 months ago, and he has told me without exception about once a week since then that it's his favorite card. He just loves it. When we were kids, when I was 14 years old, this card came out. this was the peak of all cards. This card was worth more than the PMGs, probably not more than the green, but it was worth more than all of the other cards. I think the thing that you love about it is it was the first time Finest did like so many different ways of leveling things. There was gold, silver, and bronze. There was embossed and not embossed. There was finest and not, there was a refractor and not refractor. And if you just got the highest level of everything, you got the gold embossed refractor numbered to 74, and they made it die cut as well. So it's got really all of those things going for it. The thing that I think has hurt its value as time has gone by is that a lot of them have turned really green, and some people just hate that more than anything. I personally don't care that much. Maybe that's because I'm colorblind, or maybe it's because I just sort of realize it's part of the story of it. But look, it's not as rare as the rubies. It's not as rare as the PMG. Well, it's rarer than the green, and it's rarer than the red, and it was made the same year as the red. It's just worth about 20 to like 20%, maybe even less than what the red is. And if you were to have told 14-year-old Adam that, I would have told you you're crazy, because again, this was the peak of Michael Jordan at that point. You're on mute. You're on mute.
The corners at 8.5 appear to be a little bit undergraded to me from these images. I might be different if I were to hold them in hand. But I also want to point out the serial number is 57 of 74. I believe 57 is the number of his 86 Fleer card as well. Isn't that card number 57? So there's a pretty cool little pairing you can make if you wanted to add this to your Jordan collection. And Turpin Forcer points out that some refractors are missing the serial number. That's a whole question in and of itself. Backdoored copies, something like that. We don't know. Salesman samples, perhaps. In any event, this one is not missing the serial number, and it has a pretty cool serial number that does tie into his iconic 57 Fleer rookie card. And finally on this row is a Jerry Rice National Treasures shield, game used shield, on card auto. Very elusive piece to find a Jerry Rice shield, game used shield auto. I think I saw a piece. There might only be 3 of them ever, maybe 7 on the card, 10 on the auto. Great design, color match between the color of the foil and the jersey. Adam, this card is absolutely spectacular, super important. What do you think?
Where do we see that it's game used is my question.
Well, it says it right here. It says game worn right there.
Game worn in the subtitle. I wonder if there's something on the back of the card that indicates that. Probably. There probably is.
Take a look.
I just sometimes with some of the Panini stuff, they're a little bit less clear.
Enclosed
game
worn material.
That's what you want. That's what you want. It doesn't get any better than that. That's awesome. And I've made the argument maybe Rice is the guy of the 90s that you'd want, maybe even over a Barry Sanders. And he's a lot of people think of him as like the best player of all time that wasn't a quarterback, and he doesn't have that many shield autographs. I think it's awesome. There's some huge 49er fans out there too.
Ryan, first of all, Ryan Tedmus, who joined us last time, says, "What's up, guys? Thanks for the coverage. Best in the biz." And then he goes on to say, "Don't doubt me, Adam. It's game worn." Ryan works for Fanatics Collect. He's the eye appeal expert, and I'm now assuming he's helping with titling and describing some of these. So don't doubt him, Adam.
I would never doubt. I just heard you say it, and I hadn't seen it. I would never doubt Ryan Tedmus. Not for a second.
I don't know about that. I don't know, Ryan. Maybe he's doubting. I'm kidding. I'm messing around. Okay, let's keep on rolling here. Okay, great row. Really awesome row of cards right here, guys. Connor McDavid's 2015 The Cup Gold RPA, numbered out of 12. This might be his best rookie card out there. The regular is out of 99. This is the gold out of 12. And in earlier years of the Cup, they'd make the gold out of the player's jersey number. Had they done that in 2015 as well and not changed to being out of 12, he'd have 97 of these golds, which would make the silver, the regular out of 99, probably as desirable, if not even a little bit more. But with such a big discrepancy in print runs between 99 and 12, this one may be to many people the more desirable card. It's a nice 3-color patch. The auto is awesome. It is autographed. They did Upper Deck in the design department put autographed rookie patch right there, which they didn't need to. It does kind of disguise the autograph a little bit. I consider that a design flaw personally, but it doesn't change the quality or the importance of the card. still super important, still a great card. Nice patch there. You do have a bit of orange on the far left side, so you have that extra color break, and it's a BGS 9 with centering, the only thing not being a 9.5. Otherwise, this would be a 9.5. If that centering was up half a grade, this would be a 9.5. And as I zoom out and look at the centering, I don't see what's wrong with it, guys. I mean, it's maybe not perfect, but is it only an 8.5? Look at the width of this border here down on the left versus this border over here. They're almost the same. Top to bottom, I don't even know how you judge that. Great card right there. Great condition. 49 Bowman Jackie Robinson, considered his second rookie card, 27,500 right now. It's a PSA 8. Nice card. It looks to be off-centered, but that's okay. Still well within the near mint to mint standards. And look at the image. The colors just popping off the card right there. Beautiful copy overall. Now, it looks like it's tilted, but that's just the way it's sitting in the holder. It's actually, just off balance in the holder, but that thing is just, now it's not perfectly centered. It is off to the left, as you can tell. Top to bottom is much better. Maybe even close to perfect. Great copy right there overall, Adam, in my opinion. And then I'm gonna ask you, Adam, to come in, because I know Film at 11 is a card that you know a lot about. I know it's a card that you really like. And why don't you talk about this one, the Timmy Duncan here, number 9 of 11 from Fleer Mystique, the year 2000, PSA 7. I'm going to zoom in on it. Will you talk about this and then share any thoughts you have on the Jackie and the McDavid?
Yeah, sure. So in 2000, Mystique had these cards that came in the packs that had film on them. They were like glitter foily things that you would pull off to see what you got. And most of the time you get like a gold version of the base card or something that was like pretty worthless. But one per box, or close to one per box, there was this insert called Film at 11. And you can see this is what it looks like. It's a really cool card. But then like 1 in 1,000 Film at 11s or some crazy number had this little top story in the bottom right quadrant there, bottom right corner. And if you didn't catch that, then you missed out on like one of the rarest inserts. I was gonna say insert parallels of the whole era, because on the back of the card, it's serial numbered out of 11. Now, I'm fortunate enough to have owned 2 of these in all the years of collecting. I had a Vince Carter and I had a Tracy McGrady. Once upon a time, I bought the Tracy McGrady in a giant McGrady lot and I sold it for $250 because I am an idiot. But the thing is, they're just, I mean, we say stuff like this all the time, so it probably just rolls off people's backs. But like, there's 10 cards in the set. There's only 11 of each card. That's 110 total for the whole set. The Kobe that sold recently sold for $84,000. And so if you're a player collector, that's who I think is probably going to go after this. A Tim Duncan player collector who wants all of his key cards, he doesn't have very many, right? He's got some from his rookie year and some of those parallels and inserts, but he doesn't have any of the real big exquisite stuff. He doesn't have any of the really big autograph patches from when he played. So a card like this ends up being one of the key, more difficult inserts to find from Duncan's career, even though it's not very much different than the basic Film at 11, which is honestly, Jeremy, worth like $20. This card is worth 22,000 plus buyers premium at this point, maybe more, because like you say this all the time, but it's true. You might not ever see this card again.
Yeah. 11's a very small number for sure. The Jackie and the Connor. Let's go to the next row. We have a PSA 7 51 Bowman Willie Mays. I love this card. I own a copy of it. It's one of my favorite cards in the whole hobby. So I'm going to want to take a look at it, and let's do that right now. It's a PSA 7. And it's got a few issues. It is off-centered. It's low. It's to the left, as you can see. But that doesn't bother me as much as this series of sort of fisheyes here in the name bar right here. You had 3 clumps of dust or dirt or something. You have another one right there in between the M and the A. And again, on the corners as well. That to me is an eyesore. But let's look at the other attributes of the card. Corners and edges look to be great. The bottom edge does have a little bit of discoloration, perhaps. But the image of Willie himself, what this card does not have, and this is good stuff, it doesn't have, I'm not seeing any registration issues. This thing is focused as good as I've seen. And the color is bright. The background, this brown background, the green shed over here, whatever that is, the clubhouse, and then the green under the bottom of the ball cap. And then the other thing it doesn't have are any print lines going through it, which we often see kind of coming down right on kind of on either side of his head. And we don't see any of those, no signs of them. And for me, that's probably the biggest thing that I don't want to see on a Willie Mays rookie are those print lines. And this one does not have those. So it's a nice copy overall. Let me say it's a nice image, but as far as the centering goes, it's still within 7. This might even be within a PSA 8 standard for centering. So with that, all that said, my biggest issue with the card are these fisheyes right here. And it looks, I don't even know if I can call those fisheyes. They're so clumpy. There might be, 5 or 6 going on in each of these 3 little clumps. So that's certainly an eyesore, but everything else outside of centering, I think, is very strong on this copy. Adam, what do you think of it?
Well, your eyes go to that same area that mine go to. I sort of try to look at a card sometimes and say, okay, what does it give me? That is obviously a negative, but the rest of the card is just really nice. And so, this card or the 52 Topps is the one that we always ask. I forget, which do you like better, this or the 52?
Well, listen, I mean, it's hard not to be sort of romanced by the 52 Topps Mantle and Mays, but I prefer, in this case, I like the rookie card. When it comes to vintage, I like rookie cards for the most part where I can afford them. And so the Mantle, the 51 Bowman, to me, when it comes to Mantle and Mays, are the cards that I've gone for and that I own. I don't have a 52 Topps Mantle or Mays. Now, I'd love to have a 52 Topps Mantle because it's the most iconic card in the hobby, and the hobby is my life. So I'd love to have that card, right? I don't think I'll ever have a Honus Wagner, so I may as well settle for 52 Topps Mickey Mantle. And with that said, I have yet to be able to find one that I could get into, and it might be a very long time before I do. Yeah. All right. We have a Josh Allen NTRPA at a 99 BGS 95 True Gem, $24,000. Nice 4-color patch as well right there. And it's 88 and 99. I love that when you kind of have the double digits on both sides of the slash. Autograph looks nice, slightly streaky over there, but that doesn't bother me. Nice card. And we sort of talked about the finest refractor, LeBron, Adam, but anything you'd like to say about this or the Josh Allen?
So the last thing that I'll point out on the LeBron, I didn't get time to do this on the reel that I did, but the reason that I wanted to make the reel is part of what I didn't actually mention. The back edge of this card is just impossible. And so it's like a full bleed red edge. And if you look at the BGS pop report sort of as a proxy to understand why the card is hard to gem, I thought this was really interesting. I just sort of had this in my mind since I did it. The centering on the card is like something like 80 or 70% or something would qualify for a gem mint. And the surface is the same thing. It's like 40% or 50% or something. The edges and the corners, which are 100% because of the back on this, it's 3% and 4%, or I should say under 4% and under 5% qualify for gem mint for BGS because they're all hammered. None of them are good. None of the cards are in great shape because of the back edge and corner. And that's why this one in a 10 is as big of a deal as it is, and why it hasn't moved in 4 years, because it's 50 times harder to get a gem of this card than it is to get a gem of the Topps Chrome Refractor LeBron. And I love that. I love that, Jeremy. Whenever something's like way harder to find, and it was always like, is it finest or is it Chrome? Well, Chrome ended up being the iconic one, but I'd take the finest all day, especially refractor to refractor, just because it's 50 times rarer.
I understand what you're saying. Makes sense to me. And it's a beautiful card. It absolutely is. And it's at a 250 and high grade. Can't really go wrong with that card, with that LeBron James right there. All right, we're going to go to page 2 now of really 4. There are 5 pages, but the 5th page only has the one Shohei. But let's go to page 2. Sandy Koufax, one of my favorite rookie cards in all of vintage baseball. This is a PSA 8. Tough to find in this grade. These often have so many different issues. And this one looks really nice to me, just, at first glance. I love the simple background. I know, Adam, we've talked about it, and you always point out the yellow, how it's the gradient from super bright, and it gets a little bit duller as you move off to the right. I love that you have the portrait, and then the second image of him. Centering is not perfect here, but well within PSA 8 centering standards. Lovely copy, just a lovely copy overall on the Sandy Koufax. We have a logo man, Luka Doncic, 2019 Immaculate, BGS 9, Adam, game worn, game used NBA logo man. No auto, but that's just fine by me right there. This is a great looking card. And then the LeBron James Contemporary Collection rookie out of 25. That seems like a big card as well. And it does have a contemporary look to it. But Adam, I think you're going to want to talk about probably both this and the Luka. What do you want to talk about first?
The Luka's the Jeremy Lee special because it's game used. And I know you loved your game. You love your game used. And the ones that were made before it weren't game used. They were all actually, there might be a flawless. I think there's a flawless RPA that's game used. So that would be the only game used logo man that came out before this one of Luka Doncic. And that's why it's a big deal. And then the LeBron, people always say this is a refractor. It's not a refractor, although it's made by Topps and it refracts. It is, I think a lot of people, including Nate, who was on here earlier, think it's one of the nicest LeBron cards in hand, or one of the nicest ones aesthetically. What I love about it, Contemporary Collection was not done very many times, so it doesn't have that brand thing that you're really paying for. What you're paying for here is it's one of LeBron's rarest, straight up rarest rookie cards. There's 25 of them, and go compare what it will sell for compared to like the finest or the finest XRC, and you get this one at so much of a discount. And it's a great, it's a far better image of LeBron, I think a lot of people would say, than those other cards.
It's a really cool looking card. The borders are a little wide. I wouldn't have minded more image and less border, but just a really a nitpicky sort of comment right there. Great row of cards. I do love, see, I don't need an autograph on all my cards. I like patch cards. I like mem cards. I don't need autos on everything. And so this really speaks to me, this Luka right over here. All right, really quick. Want to say hello to Zach from the Collector Creative Guys. Go check out his YouTube channel. And he says, I'll settle for 52 mantle. Love it. Right. And on Instagram, Live Artist just joined us. She's a wonderful artist who does a lot of sports card art. She back when we were showing the Bart Star, she did make the beauty football card comment. Nice to see. And I just want to actually take a moment to just remind everybody that if you are bidding on anything in tonight's auction, there is an affiliate link for Sports Cards Live in the description to this video, just below where you're watching. If you click on that and then make your bid, SCL will earn a small commission. Doesn't cost you anything extra. And I would greatly appreciate that. It helps to keep these shows going. Nick Leach says, Luka is a beauty. And Jacob Dahl has joined us. Good to see you, Jacob. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, Adam. Let's keep on rolling. An amazing 49 Bowman Satchel Paige rookie card, PSA 8. I love this. I say I love this card a lot because I own some of these cards, and I do have a copy of this. I've had it for years. I absolutely love it, and it's not his most desirable card. His most desirable card is also in the auction. Let's see if we can scooch to it really quick and find it. I'm not sure where it's going to fall here, but it's the 48 the 48 Leaf. Is his kind of more desirable, but to me, this is, I love it as well. And it's even more affordable. It's got the NBA, I think that's a gold sticker right there, and the superior eye appeal from Fanatics Collect and Ryan Tedmus. And look at it. I mean, this thing, how is this only an 8? Like, really, how is this only an 8? So I'm going to open up the auction to see the back of the card and just see if there's something that is like, how is this only an 8, Adam? There must be something we can't see because, in my opinion, now it does have 2 eye appeal designations that are going to help its price. But boy, oh boy, what an amazing copy that is right there. Just stunning. Maybe a slight registration issue. I see a sort of a bit of a shadow coming off the left side of him, off his ear and his neck, and even down here at the neck inside the collar, but minor issue right there. I don't think that would cause this to be anything lower than a 9 even. So I'm not sure, but really a great copy, perhaps undergraded. And then, like we saw the Ken Griffey Jr. earlier, Adam, we have the Jerry Rice Championship PMG. I call it a championship PMG. That might be only being basketball. In any event, it's a PSA 7. It's out of 50. And unlike baseball, Jerry Rice does have a PMG red and green. but this is out of, the red's out of 135, the green's out of 15, and this is out of 50. And this is a spectacular card, just beautiful right there. And then lastly on this row is a Wembanyama Topps Mercury Gold Foil Fractor Auto Patch, 1 of 1. With all that, Adam, I'm going to turn this row over to you.
Just real quick on the Wemby, there's 10 foil fractors. They're the hardest level, obviously, of the game used out of the Mercury. Mercury has been something that a lot of people have been really cold on because it's not NBA licensed, and I've heard terms like cash grab, things like that. I would be very cautious. There's companies always want to try to make money, right? And Fanatics pays a ton of money for all of its licenses, and even with somebody like Wembanyama, where they're paying him to sign all these cards, like they're paying a lot of money for the rights to be able to do things like that. They need to make things that people are going to like, especially during his rookie year. The Mercury product actually has some stuff that's really cool. This little group of 10 cards that were like, if I remember right, it's like 1 in 300 of the game used autographs were these foil fractors. They're the nicest pieces of the jersey. You're going to love this, Jeremy. On the back of the card, you can flip it around. You can see it right now. On the back of the card, it tells you which game it was used in. The autographs are on card. They're really nice. The surface is not a super fractor, but it's really close to a super fractor. I'm glad they didn't make it a super fractor because we don't want 10 Wemby super fractors out there. Like, it's got basically everything going for it, besides the fact that it's not NBA licensed. And some people are going to say, well, that's all that matters. And for them, that can be true. But if you want all of those other things without it being NBA licensed and you want it from his rookie year, this is sort of your chance to get something like that. And because a bunch of other ones have sold already, there's a good chance that this one sells for a little bit of a discount over what some of those other ones did. And so
or people need to grab this because they missed out on the other ones. It does say right here, the material embedded was used by Wembanyama on December 11th, 2023 during his rookie season. I think that's pretty awesome. It is produced by Topps. I do understand the licensing issue, but I can overlook that in some cases. This might be one of those cases right there. I want to point out, Vintage here says, I'd pay to send that page back to PSA for reevaluation. I would not. I would much rather have a super strong 8 with two eye appeal designations than a 9. Plus, I don't feel good about paying PSA to do twice to do the job that they should have done right the first time. That doesn't sit well with me. So I would keep it as is myself. The break says 18,000 for the Rice 7 as well. Oh, and by the way, I'm certainly in the minority there, and I recognize that. Yeah. The break says 18,000 for the Rice 7 is wild. I don't know. I mean, 18,000 now actually. 18,000 is what you said. Sorry. Is it wild? I mean, there's only 50 of them. He's a goat of a football player, a non-quarterback goat, no doubt. Him and Barry Sanders might be the 2 most popular football players of all time outside of Tom Brady. So I don't know. Wild is fair, but I think it's also par for the course at this point in time. So
wait, what is wild that it's 18 grand?
That's the comment.
I would say this. I sold a 7 Kevin Garnett from the same set for almost 20 grand, or for over 20 grand. It was like 21 or 22 grand. And then the next one I saw sell was a Garnett. I think it was a 6, and it sold for 30 like a year later. So if Garnett that was graded lower is lower in the stack in basketball than Rice is in football, and it sold for 50% more than this one is. So it's not even like, to me,
Jerry Rice is higher
and by the way, I'm just saying to Jason, like, to me, that actually, like, I would guess it probably has the ways to go. If I had to guess based on everything that I know, and my basketball to football is not a perfect comparison by any means, but I think it feels pretty good right now, honestly.
Yeah, you said, Jason, you meant the breaks, but Jason does say the amount of Wemby one-on-ones I've seen hit auction just scares me. Showing the game is definitely cool, though. Can't take that away. No, you can't. Turpin says, is that the debut patch on the G there, Adam? Is that the debut patch on the
No,
Wemby?
That's a 5, and the 5 is the championship tag, which represents how many championships they've won. But just back to Jason's comment about how many 1-of-1s. I think what he's referring to specifically is these 10 foil fractors. But again, we've seen them come out real quick and they've sold real quick because they were all opened at the same time.
Right.
So that's why you're seeing that. And that's exactly to my point, Jason, is if these end up being a big deal down the road, which will largely be contingent on whether Wemby is as great as people think he's going to be, then you would rather buy one probably at the end of those 10 coming out. And I think this is number 5 or number 6 that we've seen, I think. So it might be a better time than, I think the first one sold for like 140 grand. So
you're getting a deal right now. Hello to Jeff McMahon. Turpin Forster says, sometimes buy the card, not the grade. Brent says maybe he's saying on the Jerry Rice that it's low at 18 grand because the last PSA 7 did 19.5 thousand last year. Good. Thanks for pointing that out. Joe Perot says the Rockets beat the Spurs on December 11th for those curious Wemby fans. That's a cool little piece of trivia or relevant information. And Deep Value says Champ tag Wemby on card auto is beautiful and a good auto. We're going to move on. We have a LeBron James 2004 exquisite limited logos. It's in a PSA authentic slab. The autograph is graded a 10, however. It's at $40,000. It's numbered 6 of 50, his Heat jersey number. What a great patch. I mean, that patch is absolutely spectacular. The autograph is wonderful. This is a gorgeous card, Adam. I love this design. I like this design better than the 03 limited logos design. What about you?
It's infinitely better than 03. It's not even close. It's like Upper Deck said, I think this is what happened. I think Upper Deck knew that in 03 they needed to come out with all the stops because of the LeBron rookie year. And then in 04 they were like, can we really do exquisite again? And so they took the most popular set, limited logos, and they said, let's make it better. It's better. It's so much nicer. And honestly, I love that you don't have to pay for the grade on that card. You're paying for the patch and the autograph. You don't have to pay for some super high grade, which I generally don't love. That's one of my favorite cards of the night for sure.
Yeah, I love it as well. And I completely agree with you. Buying a card like that in an authentic holder, I think you're just saving money. You're just saving money. You're still getting everything that is cool about the card. And this is one of those cases where, like Turpin Forster says right here, sometimes buy the card, not the grade. And I could not agree more with that right there. Okay, let's keep on going. We have a Serena Williams 2003 Net Pro Elite rookie card out of 100 PSA 10. It's at $17,000. Easily her best card right there. And then a 2009 National Treasures notable nicknames Kobe Bryant auto out of 99. It's a PSA 9 with a 10 auto, pop 1, 4 graded higher. Let's take a look at this. It's got the Black Mamba inscription. I believe that's what he's saying right there, Adam. That's what it got to be what he's writing there, even though it doesn't read that way, but I can read it because if you know what you're talking, if you know what it is. I usually don't like inscriptions on cards. I think they just make it a little bit messier. I like a simple, clean auto. This looks pretty cool, though. What do you think of it, Adam?
It's my favorite card of the night. I know I just said the LeBron was one of my favorites, but I do my top 10 list every auction that PWC or that Fanatics Collect, does a premiere. This is my favorite card of the night. It's from the first year of National Treasures. So outside of the Steph Curry, I would argue it's probably the second best known card out of the set. It's this great set. Notable nicknames has like all these older retired guys, and they all sign their nicknames as well as their autograph, but many of them have gotten killed by the light as time's gone by. This one's been preserved perfectly. A 9 grade with a 10 autograph is awesome. Honestly, Jeremy, I need this card. I need to buy one. I can't pay for the premium that this one's going to bring on the PSA 9, 10 autograph. But I love this card so much.
It's a great card. Deep Value says the LeBron exquisites have jumped in price lately, and Vintage Card Collector puts a question in the comments. We're going to get to that at the end of the show. We're going to star that and come back to it once we're done going through the cards. All right, 2005 exquisite limited logos LeBron James. Now, I mean, this is a pretty cool looking card too. But I do like the year before. The year before has the hollow foil, I believe, Adam. This one here uses the hollow foil. I'm just going to put them sort of beside each other. There's that's the 04. That's the 05. They're both very nice. I like the 04 better, though. But this is pretty cool, too. 16 of 50. PSA 9 on the card. 10 on the auto. And then we have another 52 tops mantle. This is a PSA 1. Let's have a look at that. Sure, it's got creases through it and bends, and it's got some snow effects. But if you actually step back, you go back, that's actually a really decent copy for a 1 right here, Adam. I mean,
Great color.
If you can't notice those creases as well because you hold it further away, the side-to-side centering is wonderful. It's obviously high. Edges are nice. Corners are uniformly rounded. I'd go as far as calling those some sexy corners right there. You do have the snow effect, especially right here to the right of his neck, but it's a 1. What is this one? Sitting right now at 23.5. Iowa Dave, who knows his vintage baseball, says that's a great one. I agree. I really like it. What about you, Adam?
I love it. I love the color on it. It's a great. It doesn't have some of the other stuff that we see on some of the really bad mantles. And yeah, you have to squint from where it's sitting right now. You have to squint and say, where are the creases, or how is it? Obviously, it's just been bent a whole bunch. And if you want one that has great colors but has a bunch of creases, this is a great copy.
And did you have anything to add about the limited logos, or anything you want to say about the Topps Chrome Refractor Steph Curry out of 500? One of his best rookie cards at 18.5 and a BGS 9.5 right now. But anything you want to say about the LeBron or the Steph? The
Steph is one of the cards of the century. We were talking about the LeBron earlier. The Steph is definitely high on the list too. But when you look at those two LeBrons and you toggle back and forth, I love what you said. The 05 is a great card, but the 04 is just on another level.
Another level. I think that's a great way of saying it right there. The break says Black Mamba on that Kobe auto right there. It makes it the best that you can get. Nick Leach, if you buy it on a fast horse, it looks pretty good. He's talking about the mantle for sure. Jason Newman, if I was ever going to make a play to 52 mantle, it would be that one. I mean, I hear you. For 23.5 plus juice. That's a pretty good copy, and it's nice for a 1, despite all the creases. It's still nice for a 1. The breaks likes it. Says the mantle centering is decent. Also, Joe Pro loves the aqua background, and Travis Trail says I still think these dead centered copies with no print flaws of key Hall of Fame vintage cards are way undervalued, even at 2 to 3x comps. They feel like a steal. They're the gold parallels of the past, and I wonder which one you're talking about for a vintage. Maybe you're behind in the stream right now. Could be the case. Jeff Derrico says if restoration takes off, that mantle is an ideal candidate. Yeah, that's probably right. If restoration takes off, that's a whole other topic for another show. Okay, Adam. Panini Prism Mojo Luka rookie out of 25, PSA 10, Pop 10. It's 17.5. Beside it, we have a Michael Jordan Quantum Gold 1 of 1 from 1998, sitting at 92.50. And then the third basketball card of the 3 cards on this row is the Ultimate Collection signed gold LeBron James rookie auto at a 23, BGS 9.5 with a 10 auto. I mean, $42,000 on that. Pop 9, none higher. 3 pretty cool cards, Adam. You're the basketball expert. Tell us why these are important.
Love the Mojo. It's one of the best Prism parallels of the era. They're always numbered out of 25, and it's great looking sort of design to it. Jordan 90s 1 of 1s are really tough. This is a set that's like all Jordan. I think there's 25 or 30 cards in the set. So it's not like it's Jordan's one and only 1 of 1 from the set. If it was, it would be like well into the 6 figures. That's why you're getting it for a lot lower price. But for big Jordan collectors, you have to sort of figure out like how can I find a Jordan 1 of 1? Well, unless you want to pay, like I said, $1 million or something, this is your chance. And then the LeBron is from his rookie year. It's the gold parallel. You'll see the regular one come around probably, I would guess, like 10 times as often as the gold. So, that's the story there.
Good card for sure. All right, here's our second 1933 Gouty Babe Ruth number 53.
Hey, Jeremy, I might have missed it, but I think we're just seeing some action here on the Ruth. It's at 1.35 now. Before,
whoa,
yeah, so it just went up 350 grand.
It was at $1 million when we started, Adam. Now it's at 1. It went up 350. If that's what you said, yeah, 1,350,000. I think this was at 120 when we started. It's up to 160, and the Black Lotus was at 55,000. It's now up to 95,000. So that has gotten some attention as well. And I'm sure there's more as we go through the first page of the auction, and we'll just kind of scroll through it really quick here. 46,000 on Griffey, 70 now on LeBron over here, 12 still on Kobe. Good stuff across the board here, guys. All right, we'll go back to the top. Let's go back and finish off page 2 of the auction. Another killer Jerry Rice card, the Essential Credentials out of 54. It's the future. It's BGS 8, and it's at 7250, which is significantly less than the PMG that's out of 50 copies. That's a 7. Tells me that people like PMGs more than Essential Credentials, Adam. I like Essential Credentials quite a bit, and the color match on this Jerry Rice is a spectacular feature. But I also want to go look at this Babe Ruth here, the PSA 4 Babe Ruth, card number 53. A decent copy. The edge is a little bit dirty on the left here. Centering, it's definitely low and to the right, but the image of him is great. It does have some surface issues right under the neck right there as well. A decent copy. I would not call this a strong 4, more of an average 4 in my opinion. And then we have the Tom Brady Gold Refractor Auto from Bowman Draft, 2023 Bowman Draft, showing him in the Expos uniform, of course. It's a PSA 10 Pop 9 at $9,500. And I don't remember exactly what these were going for when they first came out, but I have to think they've come down in value somewhat since then, Adam. Do you have any recollection of what these were going for out of the gate? I feel like in the 20s, maybe.
Yeah, I don't remember just because there's several different parallels, but I think you're probably right about that.
Yeah, being the gold out of 50. And what did you think about my comments? The Jerry Rice Essential Credentials here out of 54 is, over $10,000 lower than the Jerry Rice PMG that's numbered out of 50 and even a lower grade.
Yeah, I think you're right that people like the PMG more. I also think that people like, and this is just being real, on these rare parallels, people like the PSA grade more than the BGS grade. They love seeing it in a PSA holder, which, speaking of, I'll show mine off since it's sitting here on my desk right now. That's the one card that's on my desk. Actually, I've got 2 cards on my desk right now, and it's one of my favorites in my collection. The Stockton out of 20, out of 27.
Beautiful card. All right, we have a couple dual autos here. We have a LeBron Kobe on the right. We have a Jordan LeBron on the left. And in the middle, we have a Luka Crown Royal Kaboom rookie PSA 10 Pop 8 at $24,000. This is a neat row because all the cards are within $5,500 of each other here. And if I had to pick one, Adam, I'm picking the, oh my gosh, it's not the Kaboom. I'll tell you that much. For me, it's one of the dual autos. And there's no stickers here, are they? These are all on card autos?
They're all on card.
They're all on card autos, which I love. I don't know how do you not take the Jordan, but then Kobe's dead. I mean, how do you not take the Kobe auto as well with the 2 jersey pieces? I think I go with the Kobe LeBron in this case. What about you?
It's really tough. The Premier is a beautiful card, but I just love holofoil. I love the clean look, and you get the holofoil, the serial number in holofoil on the other one too. I think I'd take the Kobe LeBron. I do.
I think I would too, but when I look at this card closer, look at the look on his face. Jordan. Yeah. I mean, he's got the sweat beads all over his head. Two just beautifully laid down autographs.
Yeah, you're right.
This is really nice when you look at it up close. I bet in the light, it's nice. This is a great looking card too. Oh, I love this dude. Look how young LeBron looks there. And yeah. Oh man, I think it's a toss up for me. I might actually switch my mind and go with the LeBron Kobe or LeBron Jordan in this case. But
well,
you can't go wrong with either of them.
The autographs on the Premier are nicer, but that jersey of LeBron's going to be from his rookie year. I don't know if that makes a difference to you. It
does. It does make a difference. I just like both of those. I really like them both. It's tough. The Kabooms just don't do much for me. I know I'm again in the minority when it comes to that. Jonathan Ang says, love the dual autos in this auction. That LBJ Kobe is the prettiest, in my opinion. Nick Leach lets us know that the Kaboom is nearly the same price as the Logo Man, which is also in the auction.
So our friend Jason Newman, who's here in the chat, has pointed out a couple of times the index of he's talking right here. The index of Kabooms, especially 2013 Kabooms, has absolutely exploded over the last few years. Like, it's crazy. And he's right. I remember saying to myself, wow, if Kabooms are going to be the insert of the era, then why is this, Kobe Bryant, which his first one's from 2013, why is it like only a couple of grand a few years ago? And now it's like a $15,000, $20,000 card. And so maybe it was an easy opportunity to make some money, but the pops are they're still a little bit higher than a lot of the rare cards than I would feel comfortable with. But having said that, the kabooms just keep going up and just keep increasing. And this Luka is from his rookie season. That's a rookie card. Does it have a rookie shield on it, Jeremy?
I don't see it, but let's have a closer look.
Because I know some years they've done the rookie shield, some they haven't. But it is a rookie card, though. It's a rookie year card.
It's a cool looking card. I will definitely give it that. Here's another dual auto. This one is Jordan and LeBron. So now you're actually taking this one and making it a little bit. I don't know. I would rather see Jordan Kobe. That would be the ultimate, because that'd be what would make me happiest. Still, here's another one of those really cool card. We have a Derek Jeter Essential Credentials out of 94, and we have a Pokemon card. So nice stuff. I'm going to keep on rolling here, Adam. Oh, okay. We're at the end of the second page. Let's just scroll ourselves back up to the top here. Take a quick review. Yeah, 18,000 still on the Jerry Rice PMG. Let's go back to page 1. We're still 1.35 million on the Babe Ruth there. And here is now page 3. We're going to start with a dual auto of Michael Jordan, Dennis Rodman out of 25 from Exquisite. Beautiful, beautiful card. Those autos look really good as well. Yeah, those autos are great. They're basically kissing each other, but not overlapping each other, which is really good to see right there. We have a Jordan Love Shield Auto 1 of 1 from Immaculate and a SP Top Prospects Game Used Michael Jordan baseball card numbered out of 45. It's a PSA 6. It's at $40,000. And Adam, I want to hear your thoughts on this Birmingham Barons card of Michael Jordan with some game used bat right there, I believe. Pretty cool to see him in that uniform on the diamond.
I posted my top 10 and Grant Slayton gave me a hard time. He's like, how could you not put the Jordan SP prospects on your top 10? Aren't you I thought you were a basketball guy, I think he said jokingly. I don't know as much about this one as I should. I don't know, for example, if this is 2000 SP top prospects baseball or basketball. It's probably baseball, but this was a ways after he played baseball. There's only 45. It's game used bat. It is cool that it's from the Barons. I think that's awesome. I think the autograph on this looks amazing. The length of the autograph, the size of the autograph, I think it's great. But it's also from a very early product, right? 2000, there's not that many Jordan autographs made before it. So those are the only things I know. I wish I had done more research on it. That's about all I know about it.
Yeah, it's a cool card. It's almost like an oddball Jordan, but it's a rare oddball, pretty cool card right there. Joe Pro says I'd be happy with any of those dual autos, but lean a bit toward the Premier with the MJ auto. I think that's where I was falling as well. Jeff Kennedy calls out the Jeter Essential Credentials as a beauty. And Turban Forster says the crazy thing about Kobe, he wasn't really loved until he passed away other than Laker fans. And I just think about all the kids on playgrounds around the United States yelling Kobe whenever they'd shoot a basketball. So I don't know if I see it the same way Turban Forster does here. I think Kobe was among the most popular basketball players of all time throughout his career. I know he had a few issues here and there, but I'm not disagreeing because I haven't, polled the public, but that surprises me if this comment is correct, Adam, about Kobe Bryant. Do you have anything to add?
I'm not a Lakers fan at all. Before Kobe passed away, I had my limited logos, Kobe, that I have now still. I had his
let's just make it quick here. Let's go quick.
His logo man tag auto out of Noir out of 3. That's my short way, Jeremy, of saying like even people who weren't Lakers fans still really liked and admired Kobe Bryant.
I thought so, man. Yeah, thank you for wrapping that up. I thought so too. Okay, Hideo Nomo, Essential Credentials now. Number 12 of 12, cool card. I love these cards. Pop 1, 2 graded higher, $16,500. That's a big Nomo card right there. We have a Randy Moss Flair Showcase Legacy Row 2, numbered 1 of 1. It's a masterpiece. It's a PSA 7. It's at $10,000 and a Pokemon card on the end here. Adam, I mean, neither of these are basketball, but they are both cards that appear in basketball, which is where you are the foremost expert. So that said, any Essential Credentials out of 12 is a big deal. And that's this right. One, the Hideo Nomo, is a big deal. We don't see a lot of Nomo cards. this might be one of his best cards out there. If not, maybe it's his best card that isn't like a masterpiece 101. And then the Randy Moss. I mean, after Jerry Rice, who's the next best receiver in the history of the NFL? A lot of people are going to say Randy Moss, right?
Yeah.
So that makes that a pretty big card. $10,000, a lot of money, but could be even more. Any thoughts on those two?
I love the Nomo. Also had it pretty high on my list of favorite cards of the night. Hideo Nomo is one of those guys who didn't play for like the longest time and have the greatest accolades, but everybody remembers him. Everybody remembers the Nomo Mr. Nice Guy poster. Like, maybe not everybody does, but I do. And I didn't really I wasn't some huge baseball fan at the time. But I mean, he doesn't have a green, so he doesn't have a card to 10. He played in this era. So what is his best card? If you go down the line of PMG green, essential credentials now, like this is, at least if by a basketball equivalent, this is maybe the best Nomo card that's out there. It's one of those cards that you sort of look at and you go, I don't know if that's a $10,000 card or a $100,000 card. I have no idea.
Yeah.
And so you get excited to see what it sells for, because I'll tell you this, Jeremy, we haven't seen a card this rare and a credentials this rare in basketball sell in years. They never do. They never sell. So it'll be fun to see what it does tonight.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Dr. Dime says up until he died, you could buy Kobe pack pulled autograph cards for $100. The FOMO was out of control for years. Okay, let's keep going. We have a 2017 flawless Patrick Mahomes rookie auto at a 20, BGS 9.5. We have a Michael Jordan 86 Fleer number 57, PSA 9 at 14,000. And one of my favorite cards, the Skybox Rubies Kobe Bryant numbered 50 of 50. That's pretty cool. It's a low grade at a BGS 5.5, but that is a card that it's the kind of card that you just have to have in whatever grade you can find it in. I want to take a quick, oh yeah, I can see there's all sorts of surface damage across the top here. This is a card that was likely in a screw down, Adam, and someone opened it up and took a bunch of the surface off with it. And but even that said, I mean, it's really serious across the top, maybe some more minor in this area here, but it's not that offensive, really. And again, it is what it is. The surface is a 4.5. Everything else is 8.5 or 9, Adam.
It's the right year, 97, the year of all of the rarest, toughest inserts and parallels. Yeah, I would imagine if you get that in hand, you're going to notice that top edge. But if you're somebody like me who wants the card and doesn't care as much about the grade, honestly, it's like the perfect copy. Yeah,
I think it's a beautiful card for sure. Let's have a look at the PSA 9 Jordan rookie and just look at it overall. And edges and corners look to be really great. Obviously, I think the only reason why this might not be graded higher is the centering. It is shifted to the right, maybe a little bit low as well, but just a little. But even to the right, it's not that off center. Like, is that worse than 60-40? I don't know. Maybe it's 65-35 or 62.5, 37.5, something like that. But overall, a very clean copy of the card. Except I just want to point out the fisheye right here in the bottom corner as well that I just noticed, which I'm not a big fan of fisheye's on a card like that, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen for sure.
Hey,
and the Mahomes auto. Go ahead.
Real quick, the Wemby has really popped, or at least started to pop. In the beginning of the night, it was at 50, and it's at 95 right now.
The black 1 of 1?
The black 1 of 1, yeah.
So this one right here, there it is, $95,000 right now, and we're still at 1.35 million on the card of the night. All right, let's get through page 3 here. We have a Herbert Cracked Ice Contenders jersey number 10 of 22, BGS 9.5 with a 10 auto. Beautiful, beautiful card. On the far right, we have a quad auto SP Authentic, Sign of the Times, Jordan LeBron, Magic Johnson, and Dr. Julius Erving, numbered out of 4, BGS 9.5, Pop 1, none higher at $9,250. Let's take a look at it. There it is. And those are not stickers either. Oh, yes, they are. Sorry. Yes, they are. Excuse me. Pretty cool card nonetheless. But look at this. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Lou Alcindor, 1969 Topps rookie card, and an SGC 8 with what I believe is a gold NBA sticker. Does it tell us? I sometimes can't tell if it's gold or bronze. I'm not sure what color that one is. Is that the gold or the bronze, Adam? Do you know by looking at it? Does anyone know? Either way, it's a very nice copy. The only problem I see with it, the only problem I can see with it here is just the centering top to bottom. It's a little bit low, but side to side, it's not perfect, but very close. Great registration, great color. Look at how clean the white stock is. Corners and edges are beautiful. Zoom in a bit more to just, yeah, I mean, great. That to me is just a top copy of that card. Top 15% Fanatics Collect eye appeal on that one. Beautiful, beautiful card, Adam. Anything on these three you'd like to point out?
I love Jeff Kennedy's. Those screw downs are killer to the glossy cards. Oof, he's right, man. My best card, it was either hurt because it was in the pack too long or in a screw down too long. And it's happened to a lot of cards. And I don't know about you, Jeremy. It doesn't bother me as much as it does, I think, a lot of other people. It's just sort of a sign that card's lived a life. And to me, it's more about getting the card. And so I love that, Kobe, because you're not going to get it for, within $10, $20, $30,000 unless you're willing to get one copy like that.
I agreed. It didn't offend me that much. Anything else on these three cards here?
Nope, nothing on those three.
Let's keep on going. We have a Jerry Rice 86 Topps rookie card, SGC 9.5. And I just want to, I love assessing the centering on these because it's really easy to do with those, how long these white slashes or just these white lines are. And this card seems to be almost perfectly centered to my eye. A really strong copy right here. We have the PSA 1081 Topps Larry Bird, his first solo card, not his rookie, obviously, but a very nice copy right there. Not perfectly centered, but still well within PSA's pretty loose standards for front centering on a card. And then finally, we do have Larry Bird's rookie card, PSA 9 with Magic Johnson's as well. Let's have a look at it. Oh, yeah. Great looking copy right there. Nice and clean. No snow in the background. Go ahead.
What's wrong with it? It looks so
well. The centering isn't perfect. It's a little bit to the left here. There might be slight tilt as well. It's got the little black line down over here, which I don't think hurts the card. The perforations are nicely placed in between the three panels. Not perfectly, but very nicely. It's a clean card.
Did they get an eye appeal sticker or no?
Yes. PWC, yeah. The old PWCC has the top 30%, which again just puts it like above average, at 30%. Three great vintage cards right there. If we're calling 80s vintage, and I think
we have to at this point, Jeremy.
Fair enough. Yeah. Topps Dynasty, Lionel Messi, match worn patch auto at a 5. And I love looking at Messi's auto because he's got excuse me, guys. He's got that long stroke at the end of it. And it often lifts up a little bit. This one does lift up a little bit, but still very nice. Two great looking memorabilia pieces here. Only 5 copies produced. That's a great looking card overall. We have a 1958 Pelé rookie card that I'm not very familiar with at all. Looks to be about the size of a stamp. I'm guessing that this thing is super rare, Adam. It's a pop 4, just one graded higher. So my guess is correct. I hadn't read that yet. And then another LeBron rookie. This is the Bowman Chrome Refractor out of 300. You got some great LeBron rookies. It's a true gem, 9.5. Adam, what do you think about these three?
Well, the one that stands out to me the most is the Pele because it's such a low print run card and one that we haven't seen in the auction before. And did it say pop 4, none higher?
I believe so.
That's the thing. That's the thing that's so interesting to me about Pele is that you'll see these cards come in where like I've never seen that card before, but I'd love to just see a checklist of all of his cards from that era because it seems like he's got quite a few ultra rare cards. And I kind of am a little jealous of that. Like, what if Michael Jordan had that from the beginning of his career? Wouldn't that be cool?
It would. What would that do? Would that take some of the money away from the 90s stuff and the stars and the Fleers? And it might. Connor McDavid's SP Authentic Future Watch Auto Patch Rookie out of 100 BGS 8.5. This considering that his Cup RPA is out of 99, and this is out of 100, so there's only one more of these, and that card sells in the tens of thousands, 50K plus. This is not a true rookie card because it's more of a variation. It's a parallel, but it's because it's numbered within the main base set, but it's a variation of the base card. But these are just awesome. I mean, it has everything that the Cup RPA has, yet you're going to be able to get it for about 10% of the price. So this is kind of an under the radar card. We have a Jackson Holiday Orange Refractor Auto out of 25, BGS 9.5, Pop 7, 1 graded higher, and Mia Hamm's SI for Kids rookie card, PSA 10. This card went bonkers a couple years ago, and it's a Pop 7. It's under $5,000 right now, and I think we saw one of these go for, well more than that. I don't remember what it was, but somewhere close to 20,000 seems to ring a bell for me. Adam, any thoughts on these 3 cards, none of which are basketball?
Well, I love what you said about the McDavid. We do have something similar in basketball with SP Signature, or with SP Authentic in like the early 2000s stuff. I love that because sometimes you get a patch auto that is just as rare for a small percentage of the price of the exquisite, or in this case, the Cup. And if you're getting all the same stuff except for the brand, that feels like, I don't know, it feels pretty cool to me. But the other thing is the Wemby just jumped to $100,000. So that's one of them that I'm watching tonight to just, as we said at the beginning. And it's up to $100,000 now.
$100,000 now on the Wemby. Good to see. Always fun to see the action happening here on the cards. All right, we a couple comments in the chat. Travis here says the PWCC percentile values being the eye appeal, he says, are nowhere near accurate. Now, Travis, Ryan Tedmus, who does those, is in the chat. I hope you didn't offend him with that comment because that is his work. But you go on to say even their top 30% are more like top 5. So what Travis is actually saying here, Adam, is that they're not being tough enough, maybe, because even the top 30 are more like top 5. He says less than 2% of vintage cards are centered. How do you define centered? Absolutely perfect. How many decimal points perfect are you talking about, Travis? I don't know if I agree with your comment here. Any of it really. But I think there's a difference also between technical grade and eye appeal. And I think you're talking eye appeal, maybe not technical grade. I'm not exactly sure what you're getting at there, but I don't know that I agree. Maybe I need to learn more about what you're actually saying there. Vintage says, a lesson in supply and demand. Mia Hamm went for $35K. Thank you, Vintage. When it was Pop 1. You mean just statistically speaking, they picked nice cards, though. Still not sure I understand, but that's okay. Okay, let's keep on going.
I liked Vintage's comment here. I think it's pretty smart. It's the risk of buying something that has a huge supply and then having a grading company just sort of say, well, sorry, I know we used to have one, but we got more. And that's what the grading company should do, by the way. If more gem copies come in, they should grade them as gem, and then there will be more. But you've got to be careful with those sort of things.
Of course they should. I think grading companies should ignore the pop and grade based on the merit of the card alone. Yep. Pop control, I think, is a real thing, and I think it's a bad thing. I think it's I just don't think it's a good thing at all. Okay, next row, we have a Lamine Yamal black swirl 1/1 from 2023 Score FIFA PSA 8 2200. That seems light to me because he is a phenom. We have another awesome LeBron James rookie card, the Ultimate Collection out of 250, 9.5 on the card, 10 on the auto, and a Michael Jordan 84 star number 195 in a BGS 9 at 15,750. Let's have a look at LeBron's auto on the Ultimate here. I love this Ultimate card. Oh, look at that. Look how bright blue that is, Adam. Beautiful autograph right there. The card, the subgrades, we're not seeing subgrades. They must be on the back at this time. Is that right?
It's an old holder.
Old BGS holder. Did that work for me? Yes, it did. Okay, so 395s, 9 on edges. And the nice thing about 9 edges with a white bordered card is you can't tell. You can't tell. So kind of hides it, which I think is a good thing. Okay, Adam. Oh, and let's have a look at the star card, just in terms of centering and everything. Oh, yeah, that's a nice copy. Centering is 8.5. Makes sense to me. Everything else is 9. That's a nice looking copy right there. Now, centering 8.5, you look top to bottom. I mean, it's really off center to the bottom. Like, is that 8.5 or is that more like a 6 centering top to bottom, Adam? Now, they might be grading it based on like compared to like on a curve, which I don't agree with also. But to me, this is not 8.5 centering. At side to side, sure, but top to bottom, Adam, just on its own merit, this is like a 5 centering. This is almost off. This is almost an OC card, no?
You and I have talked about this a couple of times. The top and bottom on the star cards doesn't bother me as much as it bothers you. It just doesn't. I don't notice it as much. But then when you point it out, I look at it and I go, yeah, you're right. The top border is just way bigger than it should be. Side to side, the 8.5 feels right. But you're right. Top to bottom is really bad. And so I get where you're coming from.
Okay, Travis, last thing I'll say on that is you need to actually back that up with factual research and evidence, because unless you've done that, I don't know that you can prove that unless you actually go forward and do that. Jeff Kennedy says card grades should be accurate. If a card garners a 10 tag, it should be placed a 10 holder. Companies trying to control the pop count is terrible. I agree. Okay. All right. We made it to the bottom of page 3. We have one more to get through that we haven't seen yet. And that's going to be this page right over here. And that's the satchel page I was talking about, the 48 leaf. It's in a SGC authentic holder in this auction, minimum size not met. I mean, that might be the best like reason for a card to get an authentic of all, because minimum size not met. They're not saying trim. They're not saying, color added. They're not saying anything like that, like it's been altered. They're saying minimum size not met, yet they're still putting it in the holder. I guess minimum size not met for the grade, minimum size not met for their holders. And really interesting. It's a great card. It is his most desirable card. It's at $13,500. A beautiful Walter Johnson portrait here, PSA 5. That's a great looking card right there. That's an amazing looking copy. Great for the grade, in my opinion. Centering is really nice. Color is great. Edges and corners, wonderful for the grade, especially the edges. Corners are right what you want. I love that card.
It's a beautiful card. That's a beautiful card.
The Ja Morant Prism Black Shimmer 1 of 1 PSA 10 14,000. Adam, your thoughts on these 3 cards?
Well, I think it's going to surprise you, but the basketball card there is probably my least favorite. And I like Ja. I just I really like both of these vintage cards. The page is short printed, is part of one of the best looking sets ever made. I love this year of Leaf. I love all the cards from it. There was I think you covered it, the Joe DiMaggio autograph that sold recently out of that. I just love the set. I love the set. But that Walter Johnson, like he's one of the better players in this set. I can't remember if he was part of that first Hall of Fame group. But he's one. He's big
train. Yeah, I think he is.
Obviously, like a big name in the world of baseball. That is just a beautiful card. It reminds me of the Mathewson with the I'm gonna use this word again. It's a little bit of a gradient in the color and the background. And the fact that they did that over 100 years ago it's just awesome, man. It's
awesome. Card. I love that the basketball card is your least favorite on the row. Jeff Kennedy says, phenomenal Walter Johnson. And I owe Travis Trail an apology here. He says, I've done the research. That's why I'm saying it. I have the spreadsheets tracking it. It's not close in terms of the eye appeal designation. So that makes me wonder. And that's where Ryan Tedmus could let us know just how, I've always been saying when you get a top 30% eye appeal, to me, I've said out loud, that means that it's in the top 30% of copies that have come across the PWCC/Fanatics Collect desk. And if Travis has done the research and that's not the case, then I'm curious if there's a better or different explanation for how eye appeals are awarded back in the PWCC days. And I don't know if it's changed now under the Fanatics Collect. But Travis, appreciate you sharing that with me, that you have done the research. And now I'm curious how it all flushes out. Okay, keep on going here. We've got a Bowman Chrome Orange Refractor Mookie Betts at a 25 BGS 9.5. I mean, Mookie Betts is in the discussion for the best player in the game. I mean, Shohei might be on his own level, but Mookie is up in the discussion, is my understanding. I'm not I'm not a baseball, specialist or anything even close for that matter, but that is my understanding. 1996 Topps Chrome basketball sealed box, 20 packs. That's Kobe's year, Adam.
Yeah, it's Kobe's year, and it's one of the boxes. I mean, people are going to talk about how much they love the 90s Fleer stuff, and I do too, but that's one of the products ever, like in basketball. And I would make the case that the Kobe Topps Chrome is maybe the third most iconic basketball card of all time. It's certainly in the conversation in that in that area. And to open that, you have about a 1 in 170 shot of pulling a Kobe refractor out of that box. But boy, that'd be a fun one to open.
Oof, sure would be. And a 2021 NT football first off the line sealed case of 4 boxes. Possible Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, RPAs at 19.5 right now. A couple comments really quick. Travis, curious to see what you DM me. Vintage says it's crazy that many cards from the late 1800s, early 1900s are gorgeous compared to the 1980s. And I agree. Turpin Forster says Shohei has international fame for sure. And Dog Food Soup says, I believe Mookie signs very little, if at all, anymore. So an auto alone should command a good price before it's his rookie card and short printed, which it is that as well. Nick Leach says, I opened so much of that Chrome as a kid and refractors were so hard to pull.
So hard.
All right. A dual auto mem Mike Trout Shohei Ohtani PSA 8. It's a 1 of 1 and it's only at $5,250. Now that seems cheap to me, considering it's from Topps Heritage, which is a brand I love. Those autos grade out at 10. They're beautiful. The mem is game used and beautiful. And it's a 1 of 1. Why is this only $5,250, you guys? Why? This makes no sense to me. I would go out on a limb and say this is undervalued, but maybe there's a reason I'm just not aware of. Allen Iverson, 96 Topps Chrome Refractor autograph. That's an IP auto. The card is a 9.5. The auto's a 10. And a Joe Burrow NT RPA out of 5, BGS 9. Now, Adam, what do you think about the Iverson in-person auto?
I love it. I mean, it's an awesome card. It's gorgeous. It's iconic. And then somebody said, I want to make it even really rarer. So they go have AI sign it at a show. I always worry with cards like this, like, what is this person thinking as they're holding, it's already a several $1,000 card before it's autographed and they put it in front of him. Is he going to mess it up? Is he going to do okay? And then he signs it right on and it's a 10. Would you get a card like that ever signed, Jeremy, if it was you?
No, I would rather just, I wouldn't. I'd rather just get a signed card, a pack pulled signed card personally. But I mean, not a big card like that. I would rather get maybe just a paper card autographed, because you can even see like the autograph. It's nice, but it's kind of light. It's not solid on the Chrome. No, I wouldn't have. But that said, it's a very unique and cool piece, right? And it's going to appeal to a lot. And cards like this are becoming much more in vogue lately. So I don't blame the guy who did it.
So this is what it does, though, right? It takes one of his most key cards and it differentiates it. And there's only so many ways to differentiate a card. Is it going to be the highest graded? But this is the AI rookie, right? It's this and the credentials. It's not 97's the year where you get all the crazy parallels that are worth a whole bunch of money. So it's the AI rookie, the iconic AI rookie. And he goes out and he has it signed. The only thing that has working against it, this is just 2 cents from Adam. BGS does not have a good pop report for autographed in-person cards the way that PSA does. If you throw this on the PSA pop report and it's a 10 or a 9 and there's only a few of them, then the storytelling around it is just so much better. And honestly, Jeremy, if I was to buy the card and wanted it to be worth a ton more money, I would try to cross it to PSA, see if you get a 10, and then it's one of his best cards.
But before you did that, would you wipe this auto off and get him to sign it in kanji?
Inside joke. Well, some people understand. Some people understand.
Inside, but yeah, I couldn't resist. All right, let's keep on rolling here. We've got the Panini Prism Gold Vinyl Brock Purdy out of 5 autoed, authentic card, 10 on the auto, 3 graded higher. It's at $8,250. We've got the dual auto Kobe Bryant, Zion Williamson, Adam. I mean, that's just kind of cool that Kobe's on auto is on this card. It's a pop 9, none higher. And LeBron James, Topps Chrome Refractor, BGS 10 pristine, at $26,000. What do you think of these three, Adam? It's a nice trio here.
I don't love Zion, but I love that card. And when it came out, I was like, this is so cool because it came out right around the same time that Kobe tragically passed, right? And it was like, wow, you've got this guy who's going to be the future of the NBA on the same card as Kobe Bryant. And obviously that's going to be the only one that they ever sign. It's just that Zion hasn't become who we hoped that he would become. But can you imagine if he had been like the next big deal LeBron James type player and they only had one duel? It would have been so cool. And there's still time for that. Maybe he still will be. Maybe he'll still be great. Maybe he will. But in any case, it's the only one of them. And the Kobe autograph on there looks awesome. We talked about the LeBron earlier. We compared it to the finest. That's the LeBron iconic chromium card. And it may not be the rarest, but in a BGS 10, it's a darn rare card. I don't know. I think it's 20 something. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I might be way off, but I think it's like a pop 20 something.
All right, let's get through this last page here, except for one more card. Michael Jordan, final floor from 1999 Upper Deck with the auto, numbered out of 23, PSA 10, pop 1, $30,000. That's a big boy card right there. On the other side, we've got another awesome LeBron rookie, the Bowman Chrome X Fractor out of 150, BGS 9.5 with 210 subgrades, and smack dab in the middle is the Connor McDavid Future Watch Auto. This is the base card to the Future Watch Auto patch I was talking about earlier. These are parallels to each other, and this one is a double dimes, as we say, 10 on the auto, 10 on the card, and it's numbered out of 999. Quick look at the auto. Perfect autograph, 552 of 999. Such a beautiful card. I love SB Authentic Future Watch Autos. But Adam, let's talk about this, because this is spectacular. We've seen them before. Final floor on card auto. Does it get any better than this?
Well, you notice in the top right-hand corner, it says FF2A. And it's because this is the second of, I think it's 12 or 13 cards in the final floor set. And the A stands for autograph. The base floor cards were, if memory serves, 1 in 2,500 packs. And so, and they came out like you got probably 20 floor cards before you ever hit an autograph, right? I remember there was a guy in my town who pulled an autographed floor card and it made its way around like the whole state. All of us who collect cards were like, no way, he got one. But they weren't actually that rare, right? There's 12 or 13 cards. There's 23 autographs of each, a little bit of mental math. There's close to 300 Jordan final floor autographs. But what makes this one as high priced as it is that I think across all 12 or 13 cards, there's 5 gem mint copies graded by PSA total. And then the thing that you just have to look at here, Jeremy, the autograph's not graded on this, but that autograph is banging. I mean, that looks exactly like you want it to look. So that's why I love it is actually like the grade is really cool, but that autograph, a lot of them haven't survived because these were early Jordan autographs, right? It's 25 years old. They've darkened, they faded, and a lot of them don't look like that.
Yeah, it's a spectacular card for sure. Turpin Forrester here says those hoops art signatures are very hard to hit. He's talking about this one right there, and those autographs are banging as well. Let's go to the next row here. We've got the dual Tiger Woods auto. This card is pretty awesome, Adam. 2 Tiger Woods autos, 10 copies produced from Upper Deck SP Game Used 2003. The card grade's out of 9. The auto's a 10. I believe you got 2 tournament worn pieces of shirts here.
That's right.
This is an amazing. I love this card, actually. What's this priced at now? $12.5. I mean, wow. I love that card. And I don't collect golf, but who doesn't love Tiger Woods? Here's your
little bit more background on this one, because I did do a little bit of research on this specific card. So this came out of SP Game Used, which if you remember in basketball is like $30 a pack. I assume it was about the same in golf. And for golf, they were trying to come up with like different kinds of insert sets they could do. So this is the dual shooting shirt autograph set. There's 7 cards in the set, and across the 7 cards, Arnold Palmer signed in it, Jack Nicklaus signed in it a couple of times, but Tiger is only in it. This is my favorite thing to say. Tiger is only in it twice, and they're on the same card.
Yeah.
For some reason, Upper Deck determined we don't want to put him with Jack. We don't want to put him with Arnold. We just want to put him by himself, and we're going to put him by himself on this one card. And I think that's like the funniest decision that they decided to do that. It's so random and weird, but at the same time, it's also like he signed the card twice. Like, how many cards can you say Michael Jordan signed twice, or Wayne Gretzky signed twice? I mean, it's really different.
There is that Michael Jordan card with 24 of his autos on one card, but the other thing I want to mention is with it's Upper Deck. With Sidney Crosby in hockey, there was a time when he wouldn't sign with anybody else on a card. So when they did a duel of Crosby, it's 2 autos of him and 2 pictures just like this. And that's one of the reasons why I like this so much, because it reminded me of that Crosby card. So while Nick Leach here says it's dumb and you kind of think maybe it is, but also I don't know for sure, that might have been their only option that year. They might not, Upper Deck might not have had the option to do anything different, because I know that they didn't with Sidney Crosby. Maybe they didn't with Tiger Woods at this time. We don't know.
I think you've talked to, I don't know if it's Carvin who's talked about this, but there with athletes signing on multi-cards, there's always this sort of like weirdness around what order do we put them in, because you don't want to be like the guy who's sort of in between all the other guys. Like, where am I in relationship to Jordan?
Yeah.
And when they have these cards that have like Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron, like, how did they determine the order where people would actually feel okay, right? Like, they're going to hate it.
Who's on top, right?
Yeah. Who gets in the middle? And it's
gotta watch the egos. You got to watch the egos of these athletes, because the cards are going through their hands. You want them to treat them well, right? So
but what I should have done in the research on this one is ask the question: did Tiger have any dual autos before this with someone else? Because Jeremy, you're probably right. He probably just wasn't willing to do it at that point.
Yeah. Dog Food here says, I think it's nice that Upper Deck catered to people's mental health, multiple personalities, dual autos. One Tiger auto is pro golfer, one is family man. I like that comment right there. And Sundin, what MJ card has 24 autos? What, how, why? Yeah. I mean, you got to look into that a little bit. Vintage says, get ready. Almost time for the Jeremy Lee 79 Gretzky lesson. Oh, we got one of those coming. And Hanky Panky says, how long does the extended usually last? We got about an hour left, I would say, usually, maybe about 45 minutes at this point, but anywhere from like 45 minutes to about an hour 15 more is my guess.
But it could be any time, right? We're down to 12 seconds. Oh, we never know. If there's no bids on the whole auction, it could end anytime.
Could end any time. Okay, we don't have that many cards left to look at. Oh, there is this Tom Brady playoff momentum out of 199. I just want to. Oh, what did I just do? Just want to take a quick look at it for a second.
We do have the this or that's too. Don't forget those.
We have this or that. Yeah, this is a neat looking die cut card. I'm not crazy about the color combinations and that on it, but still a pretty decent card. 13,500 for a Brady rookie, PSA 10 pop 3. And then we do have a Wayne Gretzky Topps BGS 9 rookie card. Let's take a look at it. And it's Topps, which is still a great card, and it's BGS, not PSA, which does have a less desirable. But overall, to give it the Jeremy Lee treatment, as we tend to do with Gretzky rookies here, I'm going to just look at the edges and corners. Very nice, basically perfect. As we scroll down, edges are perfect, corners are basically perfect. The oil drop is well placed, nice in the middle, right there. No shadow or kind of blur coming off the bottom of his legs, which we often see on the O-Pee-Chee copy. We do have a couple fisheyes, 1, 2 right there. We have another one up over here. And by the way, this little dash right here that you're seeing, that's on all the copies. As we come up, fisheye right there, something going on right there. I think that might be a scratch on the slab, though. I think the word Oilers is a little bit lower than the word Edmonton, but not too bad. Little fisheye over there. Good clarity. Centering now. It's definitely off center to the right and a little bit high, but I suppose still well within Beckett's mint centering grade. I don't think this would have eye appeal, does it? No. Okay, good. Because I don't think this deserves eye appeal. This at best is an average for the grade, in my opinion. Adam, anything to add to that?
How could I add anything to a Jeremy Lee evaluation of this card? I got nothing. I got nothing.
All right. Okay, next up is a pair of cards, 86 Fleer basketball complete set with stickers, and the Jordan is graded a 9, as is so this is a complete set. And look at that. We have many pictures to show us. Yeah, this is a complete set. It looks to be all 9s as well. Is this 9s all the way through?
It looks like it.
Seems to be. I don't want to read all that text right now, but it does seem to be. I mean, if we just kind of pick a random image here and zoom in, yeah, those are basically, those are all 9s. That's pretty darn cool. 34,000 right now. And the Jordan itself is a 9. We have a Jordan 9 in the auction tonight. It was at, I think, 14,000 when we saw it earlier. So that's pretty cool to pick up the whole set with stickers in 9s. I like that a lot. And then in the bottom row, we have a couple Pokemon cards, which we don't really know much about. But then we have a Giannis Antetokounmpo 2013 RPA from National Treasures, BGS 8.5. Let's have a look at that. Great auto. That auto is just beautiful blue. Great patch. 48/99. Can't really go wrong with this. The centering comes in at an 8. You can see it's off center to the right, but until you pointed it out, I didn't even notice. But now I can't not see it. So it's definitely off centered, but still a beautiful copy. Adam, what do you think of it?
Well, I think the big thing that you look for on this one, and I'm actually anti this on a lot of cards, is number of colors on the patch. Mm-hmm. Most of these are 2 colors. Very few of them are 3. And this one gives you 3 with multiple layers. So I generally like that about this card. It's not, honestly, the Giannis's NT is not my favorite card. I like a lot of his other cards more, but it is the card that everybody sort of thinks of as his best rookie card. And it does have the biggest piece of patch. And so it's got a lot going for it.
Yeah, for sure. And just back to this here. So Dog Food Soup says the oil drop on the crest is blue. Is that just a bad color of orange? No, Chris. That is blue. This image is from the WHA Oilers jersey, not the NHL. That's what that is. So a little bit of trivia for you right there.
I'll say
Gretzky did make his professional debut in the WHA, which was the World Hockey, which merged with the NHL the year after this. Yeah, interesting little piece right there. All right. And that's going to bring us now, Adam, we made it to the last card of the auction. Let's see if we're still going. 12 seconds left here, guys. This could be the end. There was a bid that came in and the auction is reset to a minute. So what's going on right now, everybody? And you can see right here on the counter, anytime a bid is placed on any card in the auction, the whole clock resets to a minute. So there has to be 60 seconds that goes by without a bid on any item for the whole auction to end. We will get there. We're just not there yet. But in the meantime, 2024 Topps Update Silver Pack Superfractor Shohei Ohtani Auto 101 CGC Authentic. It's at 11,500. And I mean, that is a beautiful, beautiful card. I love the Superfractor design, the stock. I love it. And this is a nice card with an auto. That is a sticker auto, but still a beautiful card, Adam. Don't know why it's CGC Authentic. No idea. Can't see there being anything wrong with this card. It looks minty to me.
I have a guess. Guess. I'm just thinking there were all these people who right around the time that they were winning the World Series and he was doing the 50-50 thing. I think there were a lot of people who were trying to capitalize on selling quickly. And this is what Fanatics Collect does now to raw cards is they have CGC take a look at it and put the authentic label on it. It may be that somebody had this card sitting in their vault and they said, I don't want to wait for grading. I need to try to sell this now. Well, whether that's a good decision or a bad decision, I don't know. But usually when something comes up like this that could be graded but isn't, usually that's what's going on. There's also a chance that that there's something that's not quite right with it, that it's got like a little ding or something like that somewhere. But I think honestly, Jeremy, You can just get in the mind of people thinking like, oh, this might decrease in value after he wins and, you know, some time goes by. I need to get this opportunity right now and get it sold. That could be what's happening here.
That's a really real smart potential answer there, Adam. You could very well be right. Don't know for sure, obviously, but you could very well be right on that. So, okay. That we've now gone through all the items. It only took us just over 2 hours, but that's not so bad, Adam. We've done worse. We've done worse. So
I'm not sure we've done better. That was pretty good.
Yeah, well, there you go. That might be our best. We got through them all within 2 hours, so not bad at all. And glad everyone is here with us. If you are bidding tonight, please click on the link in the description, the affiliate link for Sports Cards Live. Greatly appreciate it. Does not cost you anything extra, earns us a small commission, and helps us continue to do these shows. Adam, we are still at $1.35 million on the Babe Ruth red background. We haven't seen a bid in a few minutes here. What do you think? You think we see something else happen here?
So hard to know. I told you at the beginning of the night, I knew it was going to go for $1 million before the auction even started. But then the question was, what happens after that? And it wouldn't shock me to see significantly more bidding, and it wouldn't shock me to see no more bidding. So I have no idea.
Bob Boozle, no need to do a self-inventory tonight, Jeremy. Great rundown. I don't know what that means. Oh, based on other episodes, maybe he's saying, don't compare what we've done here tonight to other one. Thanks, Bob Boozle. Appreciate that. Taking the pressure off me. I love it. Okay, 1.35 on the Babe Ruth red, 165 now on the yellow. The Black Lotus is at $95,000 here. So almost double what we started at, Adam. 90,000 on the PSA 5. That seems low to me for a PSA 5 Mickey Mantle. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, I don't really, other than that. I know at the beginning you were saying, hey, we've seen 1s and 2s sell for 30 and 40. Isn't a 5 that looks like a pretty good 5 going to do, you know, way more, like double this? It's sure. It seems like logically you would think so, but maybe it's just that some of the low end ones have done so well because people just want to get into a mantle. That could be it.
Could be for sure. Okay. What do you want to do now, Adam? Do you want to do some this or that? Yes. Do you want to look and see where things are at here in the auction? Because we've still got time in the auction here.
I want to do this.
What was this at? This was at 70 last we looked.
Yeah, that one's really popped.
120 now. As somebody who owns a copy of it, I love to see it. Mine is not a PSA 10 by any means, but I'm still happy to see it go up. It's always nice when cards you own go up in value or get more bids. The Griffey's at 50, the 50K Playmakers Theater Kobe at 12,250. Keep on coming down. 18.5 on the Jordan here. Jerry Rice, 21,000 for the Game Worn Shield. 80K on the Connor McDavid Gold RPA. 27.5 on the Bowman Jackie. 23 on your film at 11, Adam. I know you love your film at 11s.
I do love film at 11. So the Pop 5, credentials is currently 4 times as much as the Pop 8 finest. It's awesome. It's awesome for credentials. Give me the finest all day long at that point.
For the price, right? Yeah, I mean, I hear that. Jerry Rice credentials at 92.50, a 16.5 on the PSA 4 Babe Ruth. So here come the dual autos, 18.5 Jordan LeBron, Kobe LeBron 22.7, Jordan LeBron 19.5, Derek Jeter credentials at 6,500. We'll just run through these 5 pages again, or the 4, and then we'll do some this or that, Adam.
Awesome.
Jordan Rodman at 10.5, Jordan Love Shield Auto at 11.5. The Jordan baseball card still at 40. There's the Hideo Nomo. It's up to 23,250. We're getting some of these half bids in now. The Randy Moss 1-of-1 masterpiece 11.5. The Mahomes Auto 19,000. Jordan PSA 914, or you can buy a whole set of PSA 9s for about 35,000 on the 4th page. There's your Kobe Rubies BGS 5.5 at 12,250. Gorgeous Kareem rookie at 14,750. The quad auto here at 12.5. Herbert 11.5. Jerry Rice 51.25 for that seems like a good value to me for an SGC 9.5. 13,250 on Larry Bird's 81 top, second year PSA 10, 11.5 on the PSA 9 rookie. Messi's at 6,250. That real oddball Pele's at 9,000. 7,250 for the that's cheap, I think, for the Connor McDavid future watch auto patch. Mia Hamm rookie at 4,700. LeBron 24 for the ultimate rookie. Jordan 84 star, number 195, 15,750. Lamine Yamal at 2,200. I feel like that's a steal, but I don't know much about this card. I just know Lamine Yamal. It's what soccer collectors are all about right now. Like, he's kind of the new Erling Haaland. I remember he was super hot, for a while. And now it seems to be Yamal. Nick Leach, I was interested in the rice until I saw the fisheyes in red. The fisheyes in the red. Let's have a look at that for a second. Oh, there they are. I see them right here. They're pink. Yeah, those are very inoffensive to me, Nick. Like, really hard to see, but I'm not saying you should go for it. I'm just saying that's about as light of a fisheye as you can get. Usually they're like white rings and black backgrounds, which is really, you see the contrast. But I hear you. I don't blame you. All right, and onto this page. Did we get to the bottom of this? Let's just run to the top. 8,500 on the Topps BVG 9 Gretzky. Meanwhile, like a PSA 9 of this is like $30,000, by the way. PSA 9s are about 30, maybe more, and BVG 9s are 8,500. So something to consider. Although we did look at this. I don't know that this would get a PSA 9, but it's still a BVG 9 mint condition card. Walter Johnson, 7,500. Leaf Satchel Page, 13.5. 14.5 for the 101 Jaw.
Hey, on that Gretzky again, let me ask a question. You don't think it'll get a PSA 9, and based on everything you said, I don't think it's going to PSA 9 either. Do you think it would get a PSA 8?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Well, what does a PSA 8 sell for?
A PSA 8 Topps. Well, let me think. A PSA 8 O-Pee-Chee does from like 11 to 15. So a Topps is probably going to do, somewhere between like 5 and 10. So I don't know exactly where.
And what's it at right now?
Where'd it go? Where was that card? On the second page here?
I think it was the second page.
No, it's not on the second. It's on the fourth page, actually, because I remember it took a long time to get there. It's at 8,500. So, I mean, here, let's 1 second. Why don't we do this? Why don't we just quickly go and pop open Card Ladder? So here we go. Let's just I'm just going to share my screen in 1 second. There we go. So Gretzky, 1979 Topps PSA 8. So 61, 45, 10,000. So they're all over the board here. That one's got 3 diamonds by the lister. So anywhere between $6,000 and $10,000. So yeah, right in there. So with this one being at 8,500, I don't know that I would. Maybe I'd hope for an 8.5 and see what happens. Maybe you can't lose anything. But what does Vintage here say? Vintage says the odds of any BVG 9 getting a PSA 9 is close to 0, in my opinion. Yeah, it's going to be tough.
I think you're probably right about that, and that may be more because PSA just is unwilling to give a BVG a PSA 9 the same grade just because they don't want to. But I think a lot of people, and this is why I asked this question, I think a lot of people are playing that game. They're just saying, how can I take this thing and get it into a different holder and make money on it? And sometimes that's like I know Jeremy, I've seen some of these guys do incredibly well, just crossing and getting things into a new grade or into a new grade. And so you've got to look at things like a BVG and ask that question. But sounds to me like you're hoping for an 8.5, but you think it's probably an 8, and that's probably not wise in this situation to crack. Probably better to keep it in the holder that it's in. Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute again.
Thank you. Just to take a closer look at it again. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. if I don't play that game myself, and I've probably left hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table by not playing the grade and the crack and resub game. But I just like even this my Babe Ruth that I showed you earlier that's in a PSA 1 holder. I've had so many people reach out to me and say, you should get that. You should resubmit that. Maybe it comes back at PSA 2 or even a 3, because this thing is just stunning. Like it looks like a 7, never mind a 2 or a 3. And but I don't care. I like it as it is. I think it's just super cool to have a card that is that what's the cliche? Swings way above its average or something like that.
But if you were in it for the money, which on that card you're not, maybe at some point you will be, but right now you're not, and maybe you never will be. You might go try to cross it or try to resubmit it, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. It's just not like you. I don't play that game personally.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll I don't foresee that, but you never know. Never say never, and I suppose it could happen sometime. Nick Leach says this is why pop reports on stuff after 2000 are wildly inaccurate. Oh yeah, Nick, I'm with you 100% on that. I used to speculate that pop reports were out by like 5% because of crack and resub and all that, but I think it's a lot higher than that and it's going to range by era, but I think it's could be closer to 30% in some cases, overstated, especially PSA 9s, right? PSA 9s are way overstated. Because how many times do you crack the same card out? You crack it, get resub, and it comes back the same grade. You didn't get the bump. Some of those could be over by 30, 40%. What do you think, Nick? What do you think? Way higher than 30%? What do you think it's at? How overstated do you think those pop reports are?
Here's a good test for this that I sort of stumbled upon this week when I was making a reel for a Jordan autograph. So the 86 Fleer Jordan and the 86 Fleer Jordan sticker came out in the exact same odds. I mean, exactly the same, Jeremy. They were 1 in 11 packs each. It's the same product. The exact same quantity of both were produced. But if you look at the pop reports, the 86 Fleer, the number 57, has been graded about 50% more than the sticker has. Now, some people are going to say, well, Adam, you've got to understand the sticker, like not as high of a percentage of the sticker have been graded as the 86 or as the 57. And you could even say some of the stickers were stuck when they first came out of the packs. Both of those things are true, but it doesn't make up for the 50%. It doesn't. It's not that high. Like most stickers have been graded because it's been a several hundred dollar card for years and years back. Even when grading was $10, it was many hundreds of dollars. So what's happened on the 86 Fleer from PSA or for all companies that are grading, it's just been crossed and crossed and crossed, maybe more than any card in the hobby. So
is 50% your guess for that card anyway?
No, because some stickers have been crossed too. And there are those other variables that make it hard to do that. But I am certain, like 100% certain, that some percentage of that difference is that more of the base card have been crossed than the stickers. I know that for sure.
Well, Nick Leach says for iconic cards, and he's talking like modern, it's probably over 50%. I mean, there's some people that make a living doing this, and they're doing it over and over. And sometimes they're taking the same card and trying it 5, 6, 7, 8 times until they get the grade they want, which just sounds ridiculous that that's the game that can be played in this industry, but it is the game that can be played in this industry. That is industry, not hobby. Notice I use those words very deliberately. Yitz, what's going on? Welcome to the show. Joe Perot says, I know he probably has both, but which does Adam prefer in tonight's auction? The Kobe Bryant Playmakers Theater or the Kobe Bryant Star Rubies? They are neck and neck in price.
I love them both. The 97 or the Rubies is a year earlier, and I generally think that the Team Skybox is really like underrated. And I love buying. I know people think I'm crazy for this. I love buying a 5.5. If I wanted that card, I would 100% be after that one. So for me, honestly, and people disagree, but I like the Rubies over the Playmakers Theater. And you know that I mean that because I own a Playmakers Theater of another player. So.
Well, these are the two cards that Joe was asking about and that Adam just spoke about. And for me, God, it's tough, man. I like both of these a lot.
Me too.
I don't have a rubies from this year, so I might in this case take the rubies, but the damage does make me maybe say maybe I would go for the Playmakers Theater, but it's got a couple issues too. Maybe, yeah, I don't know.
Even after I said everything I just said to Joe, you pull them up and it's just like, gosh, Adam, like, I don't know. The Playmakers Theater it's just a great card. And this one's 24 out of 100. And I know he's not wearing 24, but we like that. Just the rubies is out of 50. And I love that it's a 5.5. No, I'm sticking with the rubies, but I'm with you. It's close. It is close.
It's close. It is close. I don't know. See, for me, maybe I go with the Playmakers Theater because I have the Shaquille O'Neal and I can pair them together, and I like pairing cards together. It's one of those, fun little things that I enjoy in the hobby. Nick says, I don't play that game, but it's the game definitely being played. Oh, definitely is, Nick. No doubt about that. Vintage says a better arbitrage play might be taking a nice PSA 9. We're talking about a Gretzky rookie for the most part. And going for an SGC 9.5, that 86 Rice is a terrible buy at 6K, but could get 3 PSA 9s for that. Depends what you're after, I guess, too, as well. Okay, Adam.
You ready to do the would you rathers?
The this or that's?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's rest on Babe Ruth here, and let's do our first this or that of the night, everybody. I'm going to throw it on the screen right now. There it is. We are this or thatting the limited logo LeBron James that we all love here tonight, and the Luka Doncic game used NBA logo man in the BVG 9 holder. And in this case, we just want you guys in the chat to play. We're both going to share our thoughts, but what do you want, LeBron or Luka? Put it in the chat. Which one do you guys prefer? Adam, let's start with you.
Before I even say, I'll remind everybody that both of the game used here are likely from the rookie season of both of these players, which is pretty cool. So that LeBron jersey is probably from his rookie year, and that Luka logo man's probably from his rookie year. Giving everybody a chance to jump in. For me, I'm totally an autograph guy, Jeremy. I love logo man, but with the logo man, I need the autograph with it too for me to feel like I love the card. But that LeBron, I love that I don't have to pay for the card grade. I love that the autograph is blue and beautiful, but that patch is like one of the nicest patches that you'll ever see on that card. And even though there's another LeBron limited logos the same year, so there's actually 100 limited logos from 04, it's that card for me easily.
Okay, I'll go next. Well, actually, I'll go after. We'll do the chat. So Nick Leach, Luka, Vintage LeBron, Dog Food, Luka, Grady LeBron, Sundin Luka, Bob Boozle LeBron, Jacob Thiessen LeBron, Kinger LeBron. So LeBron has one more vote, maybe 2 more votes than Luka so far. I'm going to add another one. I'm going with LeBron as well in this case because I love limited logos. And to me, it's just a player thing. LeBron James is a top 3 all-time player. Luka is just not. It's really as simple as that for me. The one-of-one logo man, it's cool, but I prefer the patch on the LeBron than I do the logo man. I like that patch. Logo man and shields and all that, they don't do a lot for me. I like a patch. I like a team color patch personally. Kinger says LeBron. Ben Burrows says, honestly, find the LeBron James much more appealing. I just said that, Ben. I'm on the same page as you, Ben. And Yitz says LeBron as well. So LeBron wins that one overall, but I respect everyone who said Luka. I think there's something to that. Joe Perot is saying LeBron as well. All right, you want to move to the next one, Adam?
Let's do it.
All right. Next, this or that is the Jerry Rice logo man, NFL Shield, or the Jordan Love NFL Shield. These are both one-of-ones. Now, is the Jordan Love game used? That's a question.
No, it's not.
It's not. So this one's easy. And maybe it's not that great of a this or that in this case, Adam. But
I wouldn't say it's easy because one's a rookie card, right?
Okay.
Like if you believe in Jordan Love, you're more than rational to take Love here. Way more than rational to take Love here. But if you don't believe that he's going to be a great player, then I agree. Like take the all-time great for sure.
That's a good point. It's a rookie card versus a post-playing days card. So that might throw a kink in it for me. It's still the Jerry Rice all day long. But I actually really like the color behind the shield of the Jordan Love. So you see the white, the yellow, the green in there. That's a nice.
And
that's
to that same point, Jeremy, the holofoil, the acetate and the sweeping holofoil on the Love in hand, the Love will be a showstopper. And the Rice, you basically see what you get on that one. I don't know that there's some holofoil on it. I think it's mostly regular foil though.
All right, let's go to the chat. I'm going with Jerry Rice as well myself. First dog food soup here says, I'm not a fan of NHL Shield cards, but the NBA logo man and the baseball debut patches just look so good. Very fair. Doug is taking LeBron in the last one, and now we're into the next one. Nick Leach is taking Jerry Rice. Bob Boozle is taking Jerry Rice, as is Vintage, but Jacob Thiessen is taking Jordan Love. Way more upside. Sundin is taking Rice. Dog food soup says, Jordan Love has more upside on your investment, doesn't it? Maybe. Nate Flesher is taking Jerry Rice all day. Grady says Love just because it's his playing days. Nick Leach is taking Love. It says Love is just going to be a dump. Ben Burrow says the industry buy might be Love, but the hobby buy is Rice for me. And I'm always going hobby myself, Ben. So I'm with you on that. Nick Leach says he ain't going to be a top 10 QB of all time. That's fair. Doug O is taking Rice. Jacob Thiessen is comparing the grades, the BGS 9 versus the PSA 7, which to me, 101 versus 101, I don't care. As long as we're not seeing like a 4, I don't even care. But I hear you, Jacob Thiessen. It's going to be interesting and important to a lot of people. Joe Pro says, can't go against Rice, but it's not my favorite card. In terms of what, would you rather have the Love? Joe, because Joe is from the Bay Area, so he's obviously going to go Jerry Rice. But if you weren't from the Bay Area, do you just like the looks of the Love better? What do you like about the Love more than the Rice?
If you believe that Jordan Love is going to be like a really good player for the next 8 years, 10 years, I think that's the answer here. I really do. I don't know enough about football or about him to say that, but that Rice autograph is really nice too, Jeremy.
But the Love isn't game used. Rice only ever has 3. Jordan Love could have 15 game used shields by the time his career's done.
Yeah, but it's also from his rookie. This is something you always say, but remember, the 2 biggest basketball cards probably ever to be made are both not game used logo man autographed rookies. Like it is.
That's because the hobby has it backwards, Adam.
But that's the whole hobby. Like it really is. Like those are the 2.
That's the whole hobby now.
And so maybe you're right. Maybe it will change. But if the LeBron James Ultimate Logo Man auto from Ultimate Collection came out right now that we've never seen before, it could be a $10 million card. Like, and it's not a game used. That's not a game used card. And the same thing is true of Steph. So even though I know you don't like it, and you might be right that it may totally change someday, but as of right now, most of the biggest cards for modern players aren't game used shield / logo man autographed rookie cards.
Yep, I'm well aware. All right, let's go to the next one. For Joe didn't answer, he says, no, I do not like Love per se. I just don't like the patch on the Rice, but would take it every time. Can I have the credentials feature instead? A good one, Joe. Okay, let's go to the next one. Speaking of the credentials future, Jerry Rice credentials future versus Jerry Rice PMG. And this one is tough because so the card on the left is out of 50. The card on the right is out of 54. The grades are basically equal. PSA 7 versus BGS 8. Basically equal. So which one? And even the pose is very similar, but the cards are completely different. They're both very cool. I'm so like torn on this one. Earlier, I said the credentials. I might still be there, but I don't know. And I'm going to go check out the prices of both of these right now. You can kind of see me scrolling underneath. But Adam, I'm going to put it to you, and then we'll go to the chat as I look for these cards in the auction.
I take the PMG. And it is tough because I love the future design on the credentials. But it's 50 versus 54, and I know you said that a PSA 7 and a BGS 8 are the same, but on 90s stuff, I'm taking a PSA 7.
So right now, the PMG is at 19,250, and the credentials is at 9,250. So it's basically double the price for the PMG. In that case, I'm taking the credentials and saving 10 grand. But if the price was the same, I'm still not sure what I'm doing. Let's go to what maybe you guys can sway me or influence. Let's see if the influencers in the chat can influence me one way or another. Jacob Thiessen, PMG. Vintage Card Collector, PMG. Sundin is taking credentials. Grady is taking PMG, as is Doug O. Nick Leach is taking credentials. Bob Boozle is taking the PMG. So is Jeff Derrico. Dog Food Soup is taking the PMG solely for the look of the card, and it is a great-looking card.
It is.
And Ben Burrow says, I would have said PMG, but I can't stop looking at the essential credentials sitting here. Huge eye appeal for me. Me too, Ben. I love the credentials. Nick Leach says, I was buying packs in this time period, and EX blew metal away back then.
It did.
And Hanky Panky is taking the essential credentials. So now that I've been influenced by you guys, I'm going to stick with my initial and go with the essential credentials.
Who said that the packs were EX was so much better than metal was, but if you get them both in hand, I think the metal is a better card. I really do. The movement on the card when you tilt that thing side to side, I think it's better than anything that the credentials. And I've gone back and forth on that, but I think it's better.
It is very cool. What I like about credentials is you've got like purple foil cardboard die cut on top of red acetate with another color in between. Like, they're so cool. I don't know.
They're some of the best cards ever made.
I know. And like Doug O says, you get 10 grand along with it too, which that's not really the question, but I get it. You know, you also get 10 grand. Joe says, if it isn't about value and I can cross it to a PSA 7, I go with the credentials. Nick Leach says, when we all saw EX, we were blown away. Bob Boozle's getting warm fuzzies over that 10 grand. Nick Leach says Adam knows because he's with you on the PMG. All right, well, good. That was a fun one. All right, let's go to the next one, guys. We only have 5 more. Oh, okay. Well, this one might not really measure up. Maybe I should have done something other than Ultimate when I did this one, and maybe I should have done the black, the black chrome refractor, Adam. But in any case, we're gonna stick with this: Ultimate Auto LeBron rookie or the essential credentials. Easy for me. It's a no-brainer for me. Hey, Daniel Brown, good to see you. Adam, Ultimate or EC for essential credentials?
EC.
EC for me too. Joe says no contest. I think he's going EC. Dog Food Soup's taking the Ultimate Auto. Jacob Beeson's taking the credentials.
The Ultimate's a more iconic card, and the Ultimate is a great blue copy in a holder where it's been there for 20 years. It's got a lot. But the fact that the credentials, let's put it this way: if the credentials was an 8 or a 9, I would really have to think about it. But because that's a pop 5, it's the credentials.
Very fair. Sundin says Ultimate because of the EC jersey. At least the color's right though. Like, unlike Tom Brady's rookie cards, you know, where he's not pictured with the Patriots. Like, you got a full different. At least he's wearing the right team here. At least it's the right colors for me. Bob Boozle says, just give me the autograph. Nick Leach is taking essential credentials. Doug is taking the auto. I think Nick is agreeing with you, Adam. So good stuff there.
This isn't the only reason that this isn't close is because of the grade. I know I just said that, but I really want to emphasize that because, again, that Ultimate is like, that is the LeBron James, other than the exquisite, that is the LeBron James autograph rookie card. And there's only 250, and it's a 9/5/10 copy. That's a great card.
What about the SP Authentic? That's another great, you know, especially the SP Authentic Gold out of 50.
Oh, I would take a gold SP Authentic over this card any day, but I wouldn't take the regular one. There's twice as many.
Jacob Thiessen is taking the credentials because of the PSA 10. And Jeff Derrico is saying, I want neither. I'm going to go in a different direction altogether. All right, here's the next one, guys. Kobe Rubies versus Ken Griffey Jr. PMG. Both out of 50. I'm going Griffey, Adam, which is hilarious because I just wasn't going with the credentials on the last one or two ago.
You mean PMG champ?
Thank you. PMG champ. Yes. I'm going Griffey in this case because I like to collect Griffey more than Kobe, and they're both out of 50. And I just would love that card.
I think that I am a Kobe collector. I don't think I am a Kobe collector. I am a Kobe collector. But this, in the pantheon of Griffey cards, is just so much more important to him than this Kobe is to him. So I would go Griffey as well.
You're going Griffey as well. Interesting from a Kobe guy and a Ruby's guy and a basketball guy.
Which one am I more likely to buy? The Kobe. But the Griffey's worth, I think, quite a bit more than the Kobe.
Okay. Well, we'll let you have that for sure. Jacob Thiessen is taking the Rubies. Nick Leach is taking Griffey. Vintage is taking Griffey. Doug is taking Kobe. Dog Food is taking the Griffey. Baseball over basketball for me all day, every day. Bob Boozle says, I feel stronger connection to Kobe. And similar to Dog Food Soups, I like that you guys are going with what you like, not just the value or the grade. So I love those answers. Ben Burrow says, similar eye appeal to me, but the grade delta is too big. So he's going with the Griffey. And if that's the tiebreaker, then maybe value's the tie. I know Adam doesn't care about as much about condition, so the value becomes the tiebreaker for him.
Well, no. Remember what I said first, though. The importance of the card. Like for Griffey, he doesn't have a green. He only has the essential credentials now. That's a rarer sort of like Fleer skybox, really cool parallel. It's one of his very best cards. Whereas for Kobe, it's a great card, and it's a really good card, but it's not, it's not in a PMG green or red, or it's not the credential. It's not so many of those other things. Yeah, he has a lot more cards that would put him
and
on.
You started that by saying, remember what I said at the beginning, and you have to forgive me that running the show, I don't hear everything you say. Just so I hear some, but I don't. I get 80%, so I probably missed that in the 20. If I did, but I totally understand that comment. Joe says Rubies. Nick Leach says the Griffey and 24 karat Griffey, probably the best cards he has. Very fair. Nick Leach says, yeah, essential credentials is up there too. For sure it is. Yeah, and I'm going Griffey here for sure. Auction over. I think auction over, guys. Let's see what happens here. I just saw it go down to 1 and now it reset, but is it gonna? No, I think it's now the clock sometimes can take some time to tell us it's over. I've noticed that in the weeklies.
It says inextended still. I think it's still going.
Still going. Okay.
But we're close for sure. That was a good warning right there. We might be about there.
We're getting close. All right. Next one. The 2 McDavids, the Future Watch Auto 1010 or the Future Watch Auto Patch BGS 8.5. And price-wise, I'm watching the clock too, guys, right now. We're no bid we're down to 11 seconds on the clock here. Let's share that. Let's just share that. Oh, get rid of it. Come on. There we go. Oh, it reset. Okay. So the values of these two cards, the prices of these two cards right now, I'm just going to go look for them to give you guys the current pricing. I think where were these on page 4, maybe? The non-patch is at 11.5, and the patch card was at the bottom of page 3, I think, is at 7,500. So the one with a patch has 10% of the print run is at 7,500, and the Future Watch Auto itself is at 11.5. So some things just don't add up, but people want the true RC, I think, is what's happening in this case, Adam.
10-10.
Where are you at?
I think people love the base rookie. They love the 10-10. For me, it's not close. Give me the patch all day long.
Yeah, God, I'm kind of torn on this one because I don't collect Future Watch Auto patches, but I think they're really, really cool and nice. And the reason I don't collect them is because, hold on, guys, 3 seconds. That might be it this time.
Nope, it's still going.
All right.
I think I'm slightly ahead of you.
Okay. Still going. So I don't collect Future Watch Auto patches, but what SP Authentic also does is the next year they do something. They have they have an insert patch auto in their in the product every year called limited auto patches. They're not Future Watch. So they're like second year, third year, whatever. They're just non-rookie, but they're game used. So for example, at the Toronto Expo, I just bought an Austin Matthews second year SP Authentic limited auto patch with a game used patch out of 10. And I would prefer the game used patch to the non-game used patch with the auto, and it'd be a second year card. So for that reason, I don't collect Future Watch auto patches because I don't put any value to a patch that isn't game used personally or game worn. So for that reason, I still might go for it though, because it's got 10% of the print run and it's still a rookie card in my mind. So
It's got that,
I don't know.
holofoil. It's got that holofoil going for it too.
Yeah, I still might go for the patch, actually. Even though I don't collect them, I still see value in it compared to the 1 out of 999. Okay.
It's the same conversation as the LeBron Ultimate, that great looking autograph we just looked at, or you can have at 10% of the print run an autograph patch. And I don't even look at the grades, but I know what Ben just said is exactly true. Like, the grade really matters to a lot of people. That's what they care about. I don't even think it's close. Give me the rarer card all day.
We got down to 1 second. It reset. I guess we're still going here. So there are bids that are still coming in. Can we sort by recent bid? We can't sort by bid anymore either.
Nope. That was something that they're thinking about bringing back, but we can't do that right now.
Can't do that right now. Okay. So let's go back to here. Okay. Let's go to the chat now on this. So Dog Food Soup says Future Watch Auto taking the true RC versus the patch variant. The Future Watch Auto patch is nice though. Fair. Justin Bode, what's up, buddy? We love you too, bud. Doug O is taking the patch. Jacob Thiessen has taken the auto. Nick Leach says, I have no idea on hockey after Yager. Doug is taking the patch. Bob Boozle prefers the vertical card. Fair. I get that. Ben Burrows is taking the 1010, doing a lot of work here because that's an elite patch. The 1010 is doing a lot of work here. So, yeah, he's saying the 1010 on the grade is what's putting it above the patch for him. Justin Bode says, I'm with the old man. Oh, say hi to the old man, Justin. Hello, Senior Bode. Sundin is taking the Future Watch Auto. Nick Leach, game used all day. I agree with Jeremy, and I agree with you, Nick Leach. Nick Leach says they need to add that. Need to add what?
Sort by recent bid.
Yes, they do. And Joe Perot says, not too late on the Black Mamba Auto, Adam. He's reminding you about it, Adam. Just 32K.
I'm too poor, Joe. I'm too poor.
He's too poor for it now, buddy.
I shouldn't say I'm too poor. I'm rich as can be, but I'm not in cash. I can't go do that right now. I can't.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. Let's go to the next one. We have two more, and the auction seems to be in its final moment. So a couple of women of sport here, guys. I thought this would be a fun one. Now, the prices are now way different. Serena is way higher than Mia Hamm. But what would you rather have? The Serena Williams Net Pro Elite Glossy PSA 10 or the Mia Hamm SI for Kids PSA 10?
On the Serena, is it numbered to 100? Am I wrong about that?
I think it is, Adam. Let me go find the card. I believe it is. And a couple comments I want to make on this matchup here, guys. But first, so yes, Serena is out of 100. Serena's out of 100. And let's see what the population is on the Mia Hamm. Is it did they list it here in the auction? I got to find the card first. Pop 7 on the Mia Hamm. Print run of 100 on the Serena Williams. So that's something to keep in mind. But a couple comments here. You have a couple ways to go about this one. You can go for the value, which is worth the most, or you can go with these are different sports, obviously. Which are you a bigger fan of? What sport is bigger globally? What athlete is bigger globally? I'd argue Serena Williams is bigger globally, but Mia Hamm plays in soccer, which is bigger globally. And I might be wrong. I don't think I'm wrong on the soccer. I might be wrong that Serena is a bigger global brand than Mia Hamm is, but I don't think I'm wrong on that. What do you think, Adam?
To me, it just comes down to what somebody said earlier about the supply and demand thing. The Mia Hamm is worth a lot because of the grade. The Serena was worth a lot before it was graded, and the grade was additive to it. So I would go with the Serena. Plus, Serena is an individual and an individual sport, whereas Mia Hamm was a great player for a team sport. Like, everybody knows who Serena is. Even though soccer is bigger, I think Serena is just a vastly more significant name than Mia Hamm.
So with that said, are you taking Tiger Woods over Michael Jordan?
No, but Michael Jordan was clearly the best at his sport, and I'm not sure that's true for Mia Hamm. And I'm not sure that women's soccer matters as much as men's basketball.
Yeah, all fair, all fair. Just curious. Me, I'm taking the Serena as well. If I was an American and I was a big Olympic fan and I was a big soccer fan, I'd probably go Mia Hamm because I would be, very patriotic that way. But I'm not American. So Mia Hamm means very little to me as a Canadian, but as a Canadian, she means very little to me. But as a fan of sport and cardboard, she means a lot to me. But Serena Williams means more. And I think she's just got that bigger brand going for her as well. So, okay, let's see what you guys all said. Doug O is going with Serena, as is Nick Leach, as is Jacob Thiessen. Kinger says, I thought this is the glossy out of 100, Kinger. Bob Boozle says, I would have said Mia Hamm in the early 2000s, but present day me likes Serena. Very fair. Nick Leach says, Michael, all-time GOAT of all sports. I can't listen. I think Gretzky was better at hockey than Jordan was better at basketball relative to the peers. But that's not the point. I agree, though, that Michael Jordan is the GOAT of all GOATs because of his transcending sport and becoming a global brand overall. So that's where I'm at. Bob Boozle says, if Jeremy grew up in Compton, he'd be rocking Snoop Dogg and watching Serena. Bob Boozle, I don't need to grow up in Compton to rock Snoop Dogg. I am rocking Snoop Dogg, and I'm also a big Eminem guy. I don't know if there's a rivalry there, but I went to bed last night with Eminem in my ears. So I like my hip hop. I like my rap, but I especially like Eminem and Snoop Dogg, two of my favorite artists of all time, along with Steely Dan. I also love Steely Dan and and The Offspring. I got a very diverse taste in music, so REM is up there for me. Tragically Hip, I got a few favorites. All right, the clock isn't gotten into the red yet. Let's go to the next and last one, guys, and we're gonna face off a couple of interesting baseball rookie cards. 49 Bowman Jackie Robinson in a PSA 8 versus a 48 leaf Satchel Paige in a minimum sized not met authentic SGC holder. Adam, this is a fun one because Jackie is kind of the, he's a bigger name in American history and baseball history, but Satchel Paige he's a big one too. He's a real important player in the history of the Negro Leagues, in the history of the cardboard. This is a tough card, much tougher than the 49 Bowman. I don't think there might be, and I'll check the pop right now on the Satchel Paige and PSA. Is there any PSA 8s of that? I doubt it. There might be one, maybe, because it's such a tough card. But this is a tough matchup here, I would say, because of the grade differential. That said, I have a 48 leaf Jackie Robinson, the yellow background card. So do I need to get redundant and have the 49 Bowman? Well, yeah, it'd be a great pairing to have, but I don't. But then I also have the Bowman Satchel Paige. I don't have the leaf. So which one do I want more? My gosh. I might lean towards Jackie in this case, actually, which surprises even myself right now. Adam, I know you're not a baseball guy, but you know your cardboard. You appreciate rarity. You appreciate all this stuff. Do you want to pipe in with your thoughts?
Yeah. So if it was the same grade, it would be easy. It would be the Paige.
Yes. Agreed.
But it's not. And so you have to consider, I personally don't think of this as a top 4 or 5 Jackie Robinson card. I don't. I maybe 5, but it's not. I don't think it's top 4 Jackie Robinson card.
How is it not? How to me? Okay, so very quickly though, guys. Let's just look at the clock. We're down to the reds here. 7 seconds left in the auction, unless we get a bid in the final moments. Let's see what happens here.
Got a bid.
It tells us it reset, but sometimes it takes some time to register.
Well,
maybe
the number's counting down up top, though.
Okay. All right, let's put that back on the screen. Where were you? What were you saying, Adam?
So I would take Jackie's Leaf. I would take Jackie's 52.
Oh, the top cards. Yeah.
I would take Jackie's 53. And then there's some other stuff that I would need to consider and kind of go back and forth on. But I know it's an early card, but
I got to jump in. I got to jump in there because Adam, this is a rookie card, as is the 48 Leaf, because 48 Leaf is actually 49 Leaf. Like the research has been done. There's a whole book on it. This is a rookie. This is considered a rookie card. So to me, it goes 48 Leaf, 49 Bowman, and 52 Tops, and then 50 Bowman as well. There's no 51 Bowman, I don't think. There's one of the
I was just telling you what I like. I like firsts, but I don't like the way that this card looks compared to those other cards. Those other cards are just some of the most beautiful cards ever made. And so I don't think of it. I shouldn't have said I don't think of it top 4. You might convince me it's 4, but I wouldn't take it above any of those other 3. So with that said, though, you go look at the PSA pop report on page. It's just so low. There might be as many Jackie 8s as there are pages total. Like I'll bet you those two things are close. So I know it sounds crazy. I'm gonna take the page.
I don't think it's crazy. I think you made good arguments there for coming up with your decision. And I'm just gonna check the pop on the Jackie 020-44840. And let's see how many 8s there are. I couldn't find the satchel. 115, Adam. I think there's 115 8s, 8 Jackies, and 19 higher. I don't think there's 19 satchels altogether. Oh, there are. There's probably like I don't know what there are.
I just got there. There's 100 and I think I'm in the right place. Yeah. There's 192 total across all of them. So it is more rare, but the page is just so much more I think it's so much more iconic of a card. I'm staying with the page, even though it's minimum size, not I'm staying with the page.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm going there too. I'm coming over to page as well in this case, because of the rarity and the population of the Jackie and the fact that I already have a Jackie Leaf rookie. I have a page as well. I have the page Bowman, but I do prefer Leaf to Bowman. So
much. Like now, having said that, as I look at the Jackie more and more, I go, okay, what do I like about it? I do like the red. I love the Dodger blue. I love the cap. I do. There's something about it. It just doesn't hold a candle to the Leaf. It just doesn't hold a candle to it. It's not even close aesthetically. So I don't know. Maybe that's what's happening. And I'm just looking at it and going, oh, it's a small card. And it's not the best image of him. But yeah, to me, it's the page for sure.
All right. Well, let's go to the chat and see what they say. All right. So we're going to start with Doug O says Jackie. Ben Burrows says Jackie and gives it a chef's kiss. Bob Boozle says Jackie is forever. Vintage is taking Jackie. Nick Leach says, I don't know if I agree that Gretzky is better in his sport, but Jordan will be more legendary than Babe Ruth. Joe Pro says Satchel Leaf so tough, gotta go Page. Nick Leach says I'm actively looking for a 10 grade auto. Nick Leach says I'm taking anyone with the name of Leroy. I like that. Jeff says Bond Bread is a top 5 Jackie as well. And Nick Leach wants to know, why is he called Satchel? That's an easy Google question or a chat GPT if you want to find out.
I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head for sure at all.
Well, here, I'm going to go find out. Why is Satchel Page, and unless someone in the chat beats me to it, and I'm not looking at the chat right now, so let me know if they do, but why is he called Satchel Page? You can tell me. Here we go. I'm going to share this with you all. Actually, no, I'm not. Leroy Satchel. I'm going to read it to you guys. Leroy Satchel Page earned his nickname during his youth in Mobile, Alabama. As a boy, he worked at the local train station carrying passengers' bags to earn money to increase his efficiency and income. He devised a rig using a pole and rope, allowing him to carry multiple bags simultaneously. Impressed by this setup, a fellow worker remarked that he looked like a walking satchel tree, leading to the nickname Satchel. There you go. There you go. Your audio input seems to have changed or increase drastically. Are you noticing with my audio, Adam?
Yeah, your audio got super loud. We can hear you, but you sound more staticky and loud.
Very interesting. Let me check. Thank you for letting me know. Nothing seems to have changed on my side. I don't know what's at it. Bob Boozle has a really important question. While you're at it, Jeremy, please Google how to stop wife nagging. Bob Boozle is kind of known for talking about his wife nagging on him. Nick Leach, wow, never knew that. I'm picking Leroy Satchel Paige as well. I'm sorry about the sound of my voice right now, guys. I don't know what I can do about it unless I leave and come back in, which I'll do. Is it that bad? Should I leave and come back in?
Well, I don't know. I can understand you fine. It sounds noticeably different, but maybe while you try to figure that out, if you're going to keep trying to do it, I will tell you, and I don't know if this something you remember or not, but back in 2022, when we did the Iconic 100, we did put the Satchel Paige on the ballot, and it did get named to the top 100 list. It was number 66 on the list. And as far as rare cards go, cards that are as low numbered as that, there are not very many cards that are rarer cards than the Paige that came up as more iconic cards in the history or in our list. So it's kind of a cool thing.
That's interesting. Okay, I'm going to leave and come back to try and fix my audio, okay?
Okay, do it.
You hold down the fort for a second.
Okay. Well, while Jeremy goes and tries to figure out what's going on with his audio, I unfortunately don't have the ability to share screens or anything. What we can do is we can double check and see, yes, the auction is still happening. And we don't have the sort by most recent bid this time, but the Ruth still holding at 1.35. And then
How about now?
It's exactly the same as it was, but we can hear you, Jeremy. We can hear you just fine. I just say leave it. You're fine. You're fine.
How about now?
I think you sound the same.
Sound the same. Okay, we'll just go with it. Sorry, guys. I'm not going to beat myself up, Bob Boozle. Don't worry, and thank you for letting me off the hook. Just talk lightly, and it's fine. Thank you, Joe. Nick Leach, Adam, you got me spending money on that list, but I'm not complaining. Most I was chasing anyway. Maybe it just helped you reorder things, reprioritize them, Nick. That's really interesting. Nick, I got a lot with the list. Yeah, I have the book. I love it. It was such a cool project, Adam.
Thanks, Jeremy. Thanks, Nick. I like going back and going, oh, wait, I forgot. That made the list. And I remember we talked to our friend Nate in Cardboard Veritas about that specific card, and he was just thrilled to see the Paige make it as high as it did because, for a lot of people, they don't know that card as well in today's hobby, and that was one of the things we wanted to do with the Iconic 100 is shine a light on some of the older cards that maybe you don't hear about that much. But think about that, Jeremy. It's considered an altered card, being minimum size not met, and it's still worth as much as it is. That's pretty cool.
I don't think it's considered altered, though, Adam. There's no mention of the word altered.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's just
but it wasn't able to get a numeric grade.
Right. Which to me is just kind of silly, but maybe like if it came out of the pack, if SGC is telling us that it came out of the pack this way, give it a darn grade. Like
this is how I interpret. Now, tell me if you think I'm wrong. This is how I interpret minimum size not met. There are cards that come through the door and they look at and they say, we can't tell for sure that that's trimmed, but we know that it's not the size that it's supposed to be. Maybe it came out of the pack that way. Maybe it was trimmed and we don't have the ability to see that. Either way, we're not willing to give that a grade because it could not be totally original. Is that how you think about it?
No, it's not, because the reason it's not how I think about it is because inherent in what you just said is that they cannot detect trimming. If that's what you're saying, they cannot detect trimming.
Well, I think they can I think that they can
confidently.
I think that they can detect trimming in many instances confidently, but in some instances they can't.
But they've said it's authentic. Yeah, I don't. That's just not how I interpret it, and I don't know if I can articulate why any more than that. But something just tells me that what they're saying is that it's just smaller than what they're willing to put a grade on. I don't think that this is telling you that it might be trimmed. I don't see it that way personally, but if their website says that that's what this means, then I'm going to obviously believe that that's what it means. But I don't think that's what it means. And if I'm happy to be wrong on that, but that's not what I think. And if I'm wrong, happy to be wrong. I just want to know what that means, because it's a little bit gray, right? It's gray. We're right. It's not Adam gray. It's just gray, because right now we're sitting here and we are both having sort of different interpretations of that. That to me makes it a gray area. And I think I'd like clarity on that.
We might be saying the same thing too, a little bit. Maybe we're not. I don't know. But the thing that's clear to me is they don't feel comfortable giving it a grade, either because it's miscut or because they believe that there could have been something wrong. That I have a Wilt Chamberlain autograph in my collection that has PSA called me and they're like, "We're sorry, we can't give it a grade. It's not big enough." And I'm like, and so I asked the question, I was like, "Are you saying it's trimmed?" And they said, "No, we just can't say. It's not big enough." And I'm like, okay. So it's sort of like they're deciding to live in the gray area because they can't opine. That's how I thought about it. But you're saying you don't think when you see that sign, you've interpreted it in the past as just, it doesn't mean that it could be trimmed at all. It just means that It's too short.
That's how I read it, because cards were not produced uniform in size back in those days. And I also think that we as the hobby expect these grading companies to be able to detect trimming. We know that they don't and they can't, but they don't really admit it, right? They just make mistakes. It's proven afterwards by the blowout forum detectives or whoever that they missed something. But I don't think that the grading companies would ever admit that they can't detect trimming. That's one of their key functions in this industry and hobby. So, but if I'm happy to be wrong on this, really, if that's the case, then that's great. Then maybe this does mean that we don't know. It might be trimmed. We're not sure. Doesn't look trim, but it might be. So we're going to put in a slab and just say authentic, because it is an authentic card, and the minimum size, according to our standards, hasn't been met. I mean, that all makes sense to me.
Good thoughts.
Whoever is waiting for the final second to put in your bid, just put in your bid. Like let's go here. You know.
So can I answer vintage card collectors question real quick? You good with that?
Yeah, that was the one from earlier. Yep. Go ahead.
So you just said, can you talk about pop reports on 90s inserts before I go to bed? Thanks. So I think what vintage is getting at is we have.
Here's the whole original question, by the way.
Okay. Please talk about pop reports on rare 90s inserts. I've looked at a bunch, and many only have 25% pop graded. Seems many were lost. Actual supply is much tougher than print run. Yeah, you're exactly right, vintage, especially when it comes to sets where they came out of like really cheap packs, right? The collection's
over. Auction's now over.
Yay! So let me finish with this.
They finally listened to me.
They did. You told them. Jeremy said, "Don't bid anymore." So nobody did. No.
Okay, go ahead and answer this question, then we'll have a look at the auction.
Yeah, I'll give it just 10 seconds. So a set like Collector's Choice or Hoops or Fleer is going to be likely to have a very low percentage, because a lot of those were opened by kids. Many of them were opened by people who just threw them in boxes, and then those ended up in the garbage. And so, yeah, I think that as time goes by, the true population is closer to what the pop report actually says, because most of those really expensive cards are gone on the way of the earth. Hope that answers.
All right. All right. Thank you for that, Adam. Oh, Jacob Thiessen's way behind, but he's taking the Connor McDavid 10-10. Oh, no, I'm behind. Sorry, I'm behind. I scrolled up in the comments. That's my bad. Dog Food says, Jeremy bullied that bidder into sorting out their timing. Thank you. Yes, I did, Chris. Yes, I did. Okay, so let's just go through the first page of the auction, guys, and we'll wrap up the show. We're just over 3 hours here. Your most expensive card sold on this platform this year is this 1933 Gouty Babe Ruth number 149 PSA 8.5, sells for $1.1 million. Sells for $1,620,000. And then we take a steep drop by $1.3 million to card number 2 is a Pokemon trainer. Does $324,000, $198,000 for the Babe Ruth number 53 in an SGC 8. We have another Pokemon at 168, and then LeBron James Essential Credentials Now rookie card PSA 10 sells for $150,000. The Black Lotus autographed also sells for $150,000. Another trainer at 150, LeBron James Black Refractor 132. Same with the Wembanyama Black Shimmer 101. Adam does $132,000. Mickey Mantle PSA 5 does $108,000. The Connor McDavid Gold RPA does $96,000, and the triple auto Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James does $90,000. Trainer does $78,000. LeBron James rookie auto gold from Ultimate does $72,000, and Hideo Nomo coming in at him at $63,000. The jersey $63,000. The Ken Griffey Jr. PMG $60,000. The Victor Wembanyama Mercury Gold Foil Factor 101 $54,000. Bart Starr making a good showing here at $50,400. Michael Jordan baseball auto game used bat $50,400. LeBron James limited logos 2004 $48,000. We have a Pokemon at 48. We have a Willie Mays PSA 7 $43,200, and another Pokemon card at $42,000 for our top 24 cards from the auction. Michael Steinberg says, great coverage as always, gents. Thank you, Michael Steinberg. Bob Boozle says, looking forward to a great show. Let the auction begin. Bob Boozle, starting from the top. Thank you very much for being here. Adam, summary thoughts on the evening.
Fun to see that Nomo take off there at the end.
Mm-hmm.
It really did. But the bad thing is we didn't have the sort to see which was getting bid on, but we went back and we looked through those highest and went, that's probably the one. And honestly, I told you at the beginning, I didn't know if that was a $10,000 card or a $100,000 card. It finished right basically in the middle of those two things. And so that to me was one of the cards of the auction, the Nomo. Very cool to see it sell so well.
And I'm just going to go back to these, and I filtered out the non-sport so we can just see the top 24 sports cards. So after the Willie Mays, we do have the Luka Logo Man at $42,000. Then the whole set of 86 Fleer and PSA 9s with stickers, $40,800. The Michael Jordan Final Floor, $39,600. The Black Mamba Auto, $38,400. The Jackie Robinson Bowman Rookie, $36,000. The Satchel Paige Bowman Rookie, $33,900. The Lionel Messi Mega Cracks, $33,300. And the LeBron James Finest Refractor out of 250, $32,400. So those are your top 24 cards, sports cards from tonight's auction, everybody.
Great stuff. Good work, Jeremy. Great show. We went a little bit later than I thought. It seemed like we were really winding down, and then it just like that, a couple cards just kept that thing going for probably 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, no doubt. Thank you, Nick Leach. So we're going to wrap up, guys. Thanks, everybody, for joining. If you won any cards tonight, congratulations. If you were selling any of these cards, congratulations. This was fun. We will be back next month. I believe there's a Premier Auction next month as well, Adam. And we'll be back for that too, guys. So this was a fun night. Great cards. I hope you guys enjoyed the this or that. I think one or two of them I could have done a little bit better on. The LeBron when I had the credentials versus the Ultimate Auto, but otherwise I had a great time. Hope you guys did too. Joe Perot, thank you very much. Rest that we up. Got a big show on Saturday night, everybody, here on the channel. You ready to end this, Adam?
Ready to do it. Thank you, Jeremy. It was great.
Thank you, Adam. Guys, thanks again for joining us. And with that, this episode of the Fanatics Collect Premier Auction Extended Bidding Watch Party for November the 21st, 2024 is now